Hi guys, welcome back. This is Matt Chat episode 563 with a long overdue look at the game Tainted Grail, The Fall of Avalon. Now, this game's gotten a lot of publicity, some good, some bad. There were complaints about the third act not measuring up to the other parts of the game, so we'll talk a little bit about that here. But the too long didn't read version is they've patched it, and it was more than just a bug fix. You know, they've done a lot of reworking to address the shortcomings that people were pointing out. So we'll get into that a little bit. Also, the game just happens to be on sale right now. So if you go to GOG right now, don't wait, it's 20% off. So if you were holding off because it was a little too expensive, well, now you can get it for $35.99 only on GOG. Not on Steam, at least not of this recording. So there's really no excuse to check this out. But if you're still on the fence, of course, you can watch this video and see what yours truly thinks about it. I really enjoyed it, even though I've got some issues with the combat. Not a big fan of the twitch mechanics, but I'm not going to let that ruin what is really a great game. And plus, you know, you practice a game, you get better at it, you overcome those things and end up loving it all the more because you stuck with it. Anyway, we've got a lot to cover here, so without further ado, here is Tainted Grail, The Fall of Avalon. Yeah, so here we go, folks. Tainted Grail, The Fall of Avalon. A game set in a dark Arthurian universe that's certainly not to be confused with anything out of Bethesda. No, sir. This is a really cool game. I've been really getting into this. We'll talk, of course, I'll show you the game here when we get into it. I'll tell you about what I think about the gameplay mechanics and the interface, the UI, and all that stuff. But my guess is if you really love this game, it's because you like this setting and you get sucked into this story. It's kind of weird and dark and kind of vaguely Lovecraftian. You know, there's a lot of good stuff in this story, and the art style and the graphics and everything line up quite nicely. They amplify that, reinforce it. So it's just a really it's a game that's well worth looking at if you're a fan of the genre. If you do like Skyrim, I think you'll be quite at home here. Although they've made enough differences to the mix to keep it fresh, so you don't feel like you're playing. You don't feel like you've accidentally stumbled onto a really cool Skyrim mod. You know, this is its own thing. All right, let's see if there's anything else on their website here before we get into it. I was trying to learn a little bit more about these developers. I think I mentioned they're out of Poland. Of course, it's not unusual. I think in The Witcher, I'm pretty sure that's out of Poland too. A bunch of other great RPGs. It seems to be something of a hub for great CRPG development. But these guys are kind of interesting because they started with board games. And I think this is a copy of the board game that came out that they based the computer game on. And apparently this is a very good game as well. I'm not a board game guy because I've got no friends. At least none that want to play board games with me. But if you've got some friends and you want to, I guess you're tired of Dungeons and Dragons, and I mean, if you've seen the latest antics from Wizards of the Coast, I won't get into that, but maybe you're looking for an alternative to that whole mess. So you might want to check this out, Tainted Grail, the board game, because from what I hear, it's really good. And if you like the computer game, you know, there's this is basically that game in board game form. So I think, look at those miniatures. So yeah, you can see like the same art style and everything from the game. So this just looks, you've got, look at those tokens. Yeah, this is a pretty cool looking set here. So anyway, you can get this from Walmart, of all places, $100. At least you can order it. As that's probably the best deal you're going to find, but it's on a bunch of other sites as well. Of course, we're not going to be talking about the board game. This is the board game channel. This is the computer game channel, Mad Chat. So we'll be talking here about the Steam version, which is doing quite well. I think they're getting close to 1 million copies. Very positive reviews there. I guess some people don't like it, but what can you do? That's interesting. It says the developer's name Questline. So I was trying to, I was chatting. Warhammer video game publisher. Okay. What I was trying to find out, and I haven't got a chance to talk to these developers, is I wonder if they just hired a bunch of their own people and sort of did all the computer stuff in-house to adapt this from the board game to the computer game, or do they outsource it to another company, basically hire another studio to make the computer version? I'm actually not sure about that. The AI says that they did it all in-house, but I take that with a grain of salt. You never quite know. But anyway, it's here on Steam for $44.99, or you can get the supporter edition for $54, basically $55 and $45. So it's not cheap. As my kinfolks would say, it's high. It's high priced. So the question that you're going to ask is it worth it? $44, or should you wait for a Steam sale and or a GOG sale? Well, the good news is there's a GOG sale as I'm recording this, 20% off. So you can grab this sucker for only $36. That's $10 off the Steam version. How can you go wrong with that, folks? I mean, even if you don't, even if you're not completely sold, I mean, it's cheap enough to where it's not that big of a deal if you don't end up playing it obsessively. But again, I think it's well worth $35. I paid the $45, and I'm not at all unhappy about that. All right, well, I think that's enough of a pre-show. Let's get into the game and see what it's all about. All right, so here we go. Yeah, that's a good old Conan style cover art there. Maybe a little bit of, reminds me a little bit of some of those Doom, or is it Duke Nukem covers that look somewhat like this. Of course, I always think of Man of War, one of the best bands ever. All right, I think what I'll do is my usual. I'll play a new game a little while just to show you what that starting bit is like. Then I might jump into my later character. That's a good choice. Prologue or go straight to the Act 1? I guess we could do the... I think the prologue might just be cutscenes, but I'll go ahead and try it. So notice there's a lot of... the songs are in a different language. So before I give you any misinformation about that... Uh-oh, why did I switch to the... Oh, it switched me back to full screen mode there for a second. Let me make a couple... Do you love that? Yeah! Check out that art style, man. Check out the song. It's beautiful, isn't it? Yeah. Now, I was curious about what language this was, and as far as I've been able to tell, it is a language called, or it's a mix of Old Norse and Danish. Apparently there's some ancient Scandinavian and Norse styles in there. So I don't know how definitive that is. I just know it sounds pretty freaking awesome. So fits the theme of this so well too. But let's get into the game. Although I could just sit here and chill out to this. Makes me want my drinking horn with a foamy, dark ale. So let's check out this prologue. There we go. Can we do it?
The all-consuming Red Death. 600 years ago, King Arthur led the great escape from the homelands, where our kingdoms were ravaged by the plague. Leading people to Avalon, he started the Age of Conquest and took the island from the Four Dwellers. Using the mysterious powers of Menhirs, together with Merlin, they cleansed the land of the weirdness. A primordial force of chaos and possibility.
So this is pretty much just like Sword in the Stone by Disney.
Long
Exact
after the
match.
death of the king, Camelot is in shambles as Avalon fractures into chaos. Old legends are gone, and the weirdness is creeping back into our lands.
What
The
it's like.
bleeding heart of the plague has started beating once
Tried to be
more,
normal, but the weirdness came back.
and the Red Death has returned. Rulers of the island asylum, an order of the Red Priests, are desperate to stop it
Oh yeah.
by any means necessary. Rotting in one of their cells is a stranger who might bring a spark of change to this cursed island stuck in everlasting autumn.
And could that stranger be the player? Oh, yeah. Oh, what are they? Come on, people. I mean, I guess at least he's got his little loincloth on, thank God. If this were Baldur's Gate 3, we'd just be seeing the sausage. Alright, so, yeah, very cool art style. It really makes me think about some of the darker rumors I've heard about, like the Stonehenge. Like, what was really going on back then? You know, it might have been more like this game is portraying than happy-go-lucky, happy little druids that are dancing around a 6-inch Stonehenge monument. Alright, let's see. What do we want to do here? We want to change... oh, look how controversial that is. Not even going to touch that with a 10-foot weenie. Body condition. Oh, what's body condition? Oh, muscular. Normal or muscular? Well, even the muscular don't look too damn muscular. I mean, that's more like cut. Yeah. Skin color. Okay. Yeah, I don't know. Some people really... Oh, I guess we could change everything. Oh, alright. Yeah, I was about to say it's somewhat basic. But look, we can do all this. Give you plenty of... okay. You know, it is kind of cool how just a few little changes can really make a difference in how you feel playing the character, you know. Some people like me always try to make... Oh, that's beautiful. Nice. Yeah, do we need to keep shopping? Yeah. Meh. I don't know, what do you think? You like the side part or the part in the middle like that? Let's go with that. Face tats. No, I'm just not a... Well, alright, what the hell? Sure. It's like somebody messed up. That's too much grog. That's alright. Body tats? Not sure how often we're going to be seeing our character naked. Matthias. That sounds vaguely Arthurian. Although I guess it just would have been Matthew, right? Are you sure you want... we can just make it Matthew. It's probably be spelled weird. I don't know. Let's try that. Okay, confirm. Are you sure you want to play as this character? You will not be able to change it. Oh no! Commitment. Now, one thing in this game, I'll say right now, it's not easy. This ain't no nanny game. So, you might not want to play it on veteran if this is your first try. It's got a little bit of the... There's kind of ways to mitigate it, but kind of like that clear obscure game I was whining about the whole time. You do have to get some. There are some dodge and parry mechanics, and I play it with the mouse. I do have this guy here, some kind of super duper Xbox controller, but it just, I don't know what it was. If it's something on my settings or what, works fine for Skyrim, but man, I tried to use it for this game and just constant problems. So I just ended up going back to the mouse. So your mileage may vary on that. Again, I'm not a controller guy anyway. I prefer a mouse, but all that to say, there are some dodge and parry mechanics and some timing issues. So you might want to go with Explorer even if you just really hate that. But then again, as I said, there's ways you can mitigate it so it's not so all or nothing. Like Clair Obscure, where some of those battles you either memorize the monsters' rotations or you die. It's not that bad.
Without me needing to repeatedly hit you in the face, eh?
And I think that's all we need to get started here. Okay, so, yeah, again, if you played Skyrim, it's not going to be anything, the 7 commandments. Oh, yeah, so why don't we just stop right now and read the 30-page tome. No, it's not. It's not Skyrim, though. But I'm really curious about the board game. I wonder if they have something like this in the board game where you get these little flavored nuggets along the way. But yeah, you could stop and read this if you want to get some, figure out what's going on in this world. So, as you can see, it's similar to a certain other set of commandments. See, there's that book those commandments are in. Geez, I'm blanking on the title. What is it? Something live? No, Bible, yes. So it's similar to that, but it's sort of warped and twisted like. And if you think that's cool, you're like, ooh, I'm intrigued. Then this is going to be a game you're going to freaking love. If you're looking at this and like, I don't know about this, it's making me real uncomfortable, it's kind of teetering on, offensive to my sensibilities or whatever, blasphemous, if that's the way you hit that, then you might pass. Because it ain't going to get no better. Now, we could take everything, as I usually do, just with the idea of selling it, but...
Get this over and done with. Unless you want a visit from someone upstairs. And, trust me, you don't. Just like before, no food until we're done here. And the moment you start getting on my nerves, we're going back to my tried and tested fists. So, tell me, what were you doing in the forest when the Red Shields caught you?
So this is pretty cool the way they did this. So they're doing a lot of work here. And I always say that you can judge a game by how well it does the intro parts, even though it seems sometimes almost unnecessary or irrelevant. Like it's just tutoring you on how to move around and stuff. But here they give you, we already saw a pretty good introduction to the lore, the theme, the style of the game. But they didn't belabor it. I didn't have to sit here for 2 hours watching frickin' cinematics. No. I get into this Oblivion style scenario. It'd be fun to play this side by side with Oblivion, because doesn't that one start also with you're in jail? It could be. It seems to be a common enough theme, so I'm not saying that they're copying or anything like that. But anyway, so we're being interrogated by this red priest, and you would assume a priest is a nice guy. Well, I like to think a priest is not a nice guy, so you're kind of already thinking, what's going on here with the priests, and where do I fit into this? So they do a good job kind of making you curious, but the way these questions are coming is not just giving you some backstory, but we're going to be already thinking about how I want to play the game. So it's worth talking a little bit about my experience so far. So my main character, I started off trying to do archery, and that just wasn't going to cut it. I might try it again here, we'll see. But I was having a lot of luck eventually. I was dying and dying and dying. I was just doing awful. And finally I settled into a one-handed blocking and heavy armor style. So I had a sword and a shield, and between that and the armor I was able to start actually surviving a few battles instead of just getting my ass flattened immediately. Plus, a lot of people rave about the melee in this game. It feels good, especially if you can get a controller to work. It's probably even better with the, you know, the vibrations and everything. But even with the mouse, I was having a lot of fun. It feels very tactile, even with the mouse. So that's certainly a fun way to play. So I think you couldn't go wrong, especially if it's your first try, going with this first option. This is the one I chose originally. It doesn't make that big of a difference. You know, you'll quickly overcome these bonuses. It's not locking you into anything. But you might want a little bit of an advantage starting out. I was kind of maybe thinking about trying the magic play style, just because I haven't really explored it at all. So it'd be kind of like new again. But then again, I think my problem with my archery build was you kind of want to balance sneaking with the dagger and your bow. So I might actually try this again with the bow. Just because when I play Skyrim, I love this build. So let me try that again and see if I can make it work a little better.
Common thief. I knew it. So, are you one of those who sneak in and steal whatever's valuable when nobody's looking? Or one of the cowards who shoot people from a distance?
Gee, judgy, ain't he? Give me a bow and you'll see for yourself. I prefer to avoid fighting. Yeah, I hate it, game. I hate this play style of trying to just avoid the mobs. I want to fight. The theft +6 might actually be useful. I don't know. That's a tough call here. We'll just go with I'm thinking like a thief.
Your predecessor in this cell knew how to put up more of a fight. I'm missing a tooth thanks to him, but he's missing more. Look closely over there. See that little white gleam on the wall? Bits of his skull. Okay, that was easier than I expected.
Well, they should have panned over so you could have seen that.
We'll have to stop.
Uh-oh. Ruh-roh. Yeah. Uh-oh. Who's this?
Found it puzzling that these people won't bathe. You, I understand. You're literally rotting in this damned cell. But them? There's just no excuse for the stench.
That's what I say every time I go to class.
There they
No
are.
excuse.
Finally.
No, that's probably more accurate at the comic book convention.
I know. You've a million questions. But they'll have to wait.
I was too eager to get to the comics. I had no time for shower.
When you get out, head left. I'll scout ahead.
You know, one of those. I went to FallCon last weekend. I swear there's this booth, and everything smelled like cat piss, guy included. So I'm like, what the hell is this? This is like comic book shop flooded with just cats. He doesn't bother to train them at all. I mean, to the extent that you can. Okay, we got a key, so I guess that's easy enough. And then we can loot this guy. Now, encumbrance is unfortunately a big deal in this game. I hate that frickin' mechanic. I get that it's unrealistic that you can carry a frickin' Sam's Club on your back, but it just doesn't make it very fun when you have to. I hate leaving loot behind. I'd rather leave people behind than loot. But unfortunately, it is one of those games. So you might... couple things you can do is just avoid the stuff with that little triangle on it, because that will weigh you down faster. But of course we need to now because we want the armor. Then if we go here, what the hell happened to me? You can start putting stuff on, and it's a little bit wonky. I'm not crazy about the way this is set up. It's almost intuitive, but you know, I always just think about basic stuff you do in a game like this, and like one of it is when I get something, I want to know if it's better than what I already have. So this, we'll see if they've made any improvements to that, but a lot of the times I had to keep popping back in here and like really trying to look and study to see what's actually an improvement or not. I think all we get's a club for now. Alright, so I'm already getting weighed down. I got light armor on, so if you wear the heavy armor, this will be real heavy, and then you'll start to get into all sorts of penalties for that. So it doesn't, as far as I know, completely lock you out if you wanted to put on a piece of heavy armor right now. It's just you're going to be paying a price for that until you start to gain some levels and some abilities. Now, this is the part that I just, for the love of God, I can't figure out how this works. Autofill slots. Autofill slots. And then we've got quick slots. I don't know why we'd want to get drunk right away. So I'm not going to equip that. But somehow, let's see, show objective, V, walk. I think it's R? No. Or Z? What is the button that brings up the little menu for swapping out gear? Oh, Q. Yeah, so here I guess we could access those quick items. There's probably a button to do it as well, but I don't use it so often that I bother to memorize that. Alright, now we're unleashed. We're trying to figure out why that guy let us loose and then walked off. What is going on here? Who is the good guys? Who are the bad guys? And unfortunately, it's one of them games where everybody's in between. It's more George R.R. Martin style than Tolkien. You know, and some people like that. You know, they consider it good storytelling if everything's kind of murky and gray. I think it's okay for variety's sake. I wouldn't want to say every game needs to be, you know, frickin' clear-cut Hercules Legendary Adventure style. But I almost feel like it's almost overdone at this point. I'd actually would like to see at least a couple big games where it wasn't ambiguous like that, and trying to impress you with their creative writing chops. But this is a game, if you like that style, this is definitely going to interest you. Because they do about as good of a job with it as any I've seen. Oh, this is... Oh, I forgot. Yeah, I'm starting over. Not so good with lockpicks. Uh-oh, is that guy going to attack? Okay, why don't I have my weapon out? So I guess I gotta fight this guy. He's looking right at me, so I'm not gonna be able to... Oh, Jesus Christ. I was hoping I could sneak up on him, but... maybe my stealth is too bad at this point to... Oh. Yeah, I don't think I'll be able to... Tap block right before the enemy attacks to execute a parry. Yeah, good luck with that. We could try it again. You can all laugh at me because I suck at these mechanics. I just freaking hate these mechanics. It's a role-playing game. It's the character's skill, not mine. How can't they just automate this? Give me a freaking stat called parry that I could put points into and have it automatically do it. Jesus Christ, it's not that hard. Alright, there we go. So I think I actually... There we go. So I did actually parry him a couple times. So he did still manage to hit me a few times, though, so that kind of sucks, but it's okay. If someone as inept with as I am with can do it, you can too. And I'm kind of scared. This is a scary place. Alright, so I checked my video because it keeps going to full screen on me. Even though I said windowed. Hello. So sorry about that. I got a few minutes of video where it's a little bit truncated. So I thought I would just redo that, but I didn't want to re-record my audio because I thought it was pretty good audio. So short of it is, we're going to do this again. But it's okay. Oh, maybe this time I can parry perfectly.
Your sins will be punished.
Yeah. Oh. Okay, let me get this done, then I'll explain these mechanics a little bit more. Ooh, a brain. Yeah, another problem is it doesn't really do too good of a job telling you what what is worth picking up. Like, most of this stuff is just trash. But some of the stuff are materials you'll need to make your potions. And you know me, I love those alchemy systems and crafting systems, so they're not always done well, but they're done pretty good. I'm just like looking everywhere for loot. There's lots of secrets in this game, so it's worth really exploring. Okay, so let's see if I got any more. So this is what I was telling you before about it's not so easy to see what's an improvement. Like, that's got half as much armor, but it's a lot less weight. But I don't think I want to be that light. Okay. I think I picked up a dagger back there, too. So let's go ahead and switch to the dagger. Now, I could do a two-handed thing. Never been my preferred way. How do I get rid of that? There we go. I'm a one-weapon kind of guy. Yeah. You know, all these games, everybody wants to play like the dual-wielding. Oh, dual-wield swords. It's so freaking awesome, man. Why doesn't everybody dual-wield? Because humans don't work that way. It's not realistic. Okay, looks pretty good. I think it's I'll go ahead and quick save, but I hope it doesn't record over my other quick save. But yeah, I still took some damage. Stay clear. This tunnel is scheduled to be filled and secured. Stay clear and avoid tampering. Okay. So you don't. There's a lot to this game. I still don't know. It's huge, you know, but I'm reasonably sure that there's no auto heal. And I probably don't want to rest here. So what I can do is eat some of the food I found. We can look at it and see what it does. So this restores 48 health over 60 seconds. So it's a DO, it's a heal over time, basically. See it working there. So, you know, an auto heal might be nice, but on the other hand, this gives you a solid reason to learn cooking and to deal with food. I like that. If you're going to go to all the trouble to put in the mechanic, at least make it worthwhile. Integrate it into the game. Okay, well, yeah, this can be a real challenge for people like me that are directionally challenged. So I like to call it directile dysfunction. And there's no map either, at least not when you're in a dungeon like this. Oh, I'm sneaking up on somebody. I want to see if I could sneak up behind somebody and see if I can get a sneak attack. God, I'm lost. That's the guy I just killed. Well, what's the point of that? I guess maybe I could have, if I didn't want to pick the lock, maybe. Or maybe I could have snuck behind him a little bit more. He's plagued by dangerous visions.
Drip, drip, drip. Do you hear it? Soon the king will return. I told the priests. They laughed. But they'll soon see for themselves.
Oh, yeah.
Drip, drip.
It looks kind of like that. Was it Odo from DS9?
Drip.
Yeah, he's a drip, yeah. This kind of reminds me a little bit of Augustin Cortez and his Asylum game, Scratches. If you like this sort of stuff, you should definitely check out his games. He's really good at this sort of creepy...
Do you see what a miracle I am?
I don't know how sensitive it is to people that really do have these conditions, but... Let's see what happened to you. Can I help you somehow?
You don't need to help me. The Red Priests already did.
Okay,
They
just
fate
back
awaits you and
away
you'll no longer
slowly. Back away.
Have a nice day, kind sir.
Yeah, good. Okay, yeah. I just came into your office to see if I could find some loot. Didn't want to have a conversation with you. Oh, what is... Oh, that's the guy that's waiting on me, right? Hurry, hurry! We're all gonna die if we stay here. Wait, I need to go inside every cell. What? Before they start your treatment. You're not sick, and even if you are, they will not cure you. Save yourself as I did. I stole a small glass jar, broken into shards, and swallowed them all. Yeah. Oh. Imagine playing this during COVID. Oh, that would have been terrible. Okay, I think I've explored everything there is to see here, right? Who's that guy? Beautiful Liliana in the chamber. Ooh, ho, ho, ho. Yeah, there's this kind of soft porn book collection going around here. I don't know if it's might be an achievement or something tied into it if you collect them all. You do need all the ale and wine and stuff like that. Will come in handy when we start making potions. Here's a roast. Moonshine. Okay. I'm pretty sure there's a way to like highlight stuff, but I've forgotten what it is. Cooking for the resistant. Millerine anti-frizzle. So this will teach us how to make beggar's fare or just boil groats and oats. What's a groat? I know what an oat is. I think I'll have the mashed potatoes. Mash with a touch of milk. You want creamy, not watery. You ever make mashed potatoes from scratch? It's not too hard to do. It's actually kind of fun. It's fun to mash them. Okay, so here's our cooking, and there's a couple ways to go about this. You can try to use random ingredients and see if it makes a new recipe. You might discover a recipe that way. I guess you could use common sense, try to figure out what ingredients might work together, or you can just go with the recipes that you find. That way you know what you're getting. So there's a little bit of nuance here. So you can see right now I've got one can of milk and then I got 4 potatoes. I can try to make mashed potatoes. I don't need any utensils. I guess they're supplied here at the station. But what I can do is up the number of potatoes that I use. So what that does, it determines how likely I am to get the outcome there. So I got a 54% chance that I'll make the item. I got 18% chance I will screw it up, and a 27% chance I'll make something really special. And if I add more, oh, I guess there's diminishing returns here. See where the sweet spot is. So actually just using the 1 is the sweet spot. So I can craft it. Go ahead and craft. Made my mashed potatoes. It's just that easy. When I get some more ingredients, we can come back to that and see what we got. Okay, looks like I'm not finding anything much better than what I got already. So eventually I'm going to need to start dropping stuff when I get too heavy, but not there yet. Oh, I just got some more ingredients. Alright, back to the cooking pot. Let's see. Oh, now I can make some of these beggar's fare. Let's see if it works on this. So yeah, you can see there. Actually, it's going down when I click that up. Oh, you see what's changing though is the chance for better goes up every time. So if I completely max that out, I got a 47% chance that it'll get the next level of this. But then again, I don't have a lot of ingredients to work with, so I might want to just keep it simple. Oh, see, I made a +1 that time. And every time this cooking score goes up, I think I get a little better too. Alright. So let's see what we're up to now. Got our Beggar's Fare +1 does 54 health instead of 48. So that's a pretty noticeable, thing. We can also equip that healing potion. So this is the part that got me. Alright, X. Why is that blanked out? I thought I autofill. Something's weird there. Oh, there we go. Now it's working. A little glitch. So this is very tricky. If I hit the C, it rotates those items around. And then X consumes it. So you have to be real careful with that, because I ended up chugging a bunch of healing potions by mistake when all I wanted to do was just eat. Alright. Off we go. Some more bugs. I don't know why I necessarily want that. 7 commandments. Oh, some ale. Alright. Can I yank that out? I guess not. We don't want you to go this way. He don't look too good. He lost a lot of weight, though. It's a good treatment. Okay, I guess we're... Like I say, this game is twisted enough and convoluted enough that I'm always worried that I forgot to go some places. Oh, okay, so that's the business with the tunnel. So you can get into that room, I suppose. Okay, then I check those guys out. So are we ready to talk to him? Oh, he's dead. It'll be a very short conversation. And then we can come in here and just take everything. There's a cracked shield, but I'm going to try to get by without a shield this time. Just when I think about a rogue, I think no shield. You know, maybe a buckler that clamps on, but I guess if it's kind of a rapier style thief, you might have a little shield, but I'm thinking more of the parries is going to be the ticket. Hopefully I won't have to do too many fights like that, because I want to sneak up on him. You got lots and lots of flavor and lore, and you get quests. I don't think I'll be able to do those quests yet. Take a look at the interface, though. The husband of one of the Red Priest victims must be wondering what happened to her. It's just a little side quest now. Some more clothes. The gray stuff is absolute trash. So you probably don't even want to lug it around. Later on, we'll be able to deposit all of our reagents and stuff into a chest. Yeah, I guess I'll take the shield for now, just in case I want to play around with it. Oh, well, this is what I was going to tell you about the parry mechanics. Same thing with the blocking. So if you hold the right mouse button down, or I guess if you're using the controller, whatever the block button is, this is the block. And what happens is every time they hit you, you're going to take that green bar down, there's your stamina. So you'll start seeing that go down every time you get hit. And eventually you'll run out, and then you won't be able to do much but die. But if instead of holding it down, you just tap it, that's the parry. You see, it uses a little bit of stamina. And if you can do it right, it'll clank off of their weapon and it will drain their stamina. I don't know if it drains yours too, or if it gives it back, but it's basically a pretty cool technique, because you not only avoid the damage, but you're making them less. You're sucking some of their energy up, basically. Let's try it on him, so we'll see. Alright, he doesn't even have a stamina bar. Alright, I'm already running out of the stamina, great. Okay, so if I just hold it down, you'll see what happens. Alright, so I still took some damage, but I guess not as much. And same thing with the attacks. If I could just hold it down, then I do a power attack. Or I can just tap it for a light attack. So that's about all the mechanics. And once we start to level, you'll see there's all kinds of ways to make that easier. You can increase the window of the parry time. You can make it do extra stuff when you successfully parry. All sorts of fun stuff. Alright, now if I can't... Oh shoot, of course you turn around. I want to see if I could sneak up on one of these guys, but it hasn't given me a chance yet. I'm not that sneaky. Another thing is if you do the power attack, it'll start sucking your stamina the more that you hold it, see? So it's... Oh, Jesus. Jesus! Whoa! Okay. These guys aren't playing around at all. Jeez, I better take a healing potion. Wow, I'm about to get my ass kicked by these freaking zombies. And my stamina. See how low stamina you get, right? I might have to Grimrock this son of a gun. One down. That healing is very slow. Alright, I guess he... There's another one. Oh, wait. No, that's... What the hell is she doing now? Okay. What just happened? Oh, I guess,
Drip.
Oh, that's the drippy guy. Oh, well. He came to my rescue. He's my hero, Mr. Drip. But, I mean, Jesus Christ, right? I mean, we're still in the prologue. That's like maybe the second fight. And you absolutely could die there. I mean, this is brutal difficulty. This is not... I did not put it on the expert mode. See, you just cannot frickin' sneak up, even on a zombie. So this is why I gave up on the sneak attack with my other character. I just could never pull it off. They always would spot me. I don't know if there's some... Maybe you just have to pump enough points into it to overcome whatever that check is. Yeah, sometimes it's better just to... Oh! They don't give you enough stand to work with either. I'm almost out of stand just from a few swings. Of course, I know I keep saying it, but when you start to level up, you know, I'll give this game credit for one thing. You really like leveling up because you notice a big freaking difference. So in a way, it's kind of good that they make it real hard. Because then you just appreciate it all the more when you finally start to get some relief. Alright. I don't know if any of that stuff... I'm just picking it all up for now. I might have to drop it and sort it a little bit later. I guess I could check real quick to see if there's any improvements. Yeah, that's a pretty solid improvement there. I don't think any of this is going to be better than what I got. Nope. Nope. I might have to equip that shield after all. Okay. Hopefully before we're done with our little play, this I'll get to sneak up on at least one zombie. I should probably eat some more. Alright. I need this sneak leveled up yesterday. If I'm gonna play this play style, I have got to get the sneak up. And I've got to get better with my stamina. Yeah. Look at that artwork. You know, this is kind of like if that game Asylum or was married to Skyrim. I picked up a ton. You know, you could see a little bit of The Witcher's influence on this too, I think. I bet people that really love The Witcher would find a lot to like here too. It's not quite as arcadey or action-based as that game. It's pretty close, but... So I've been doing these lockpicks without really talking about it, but it's probably obvious how it works, right? Just move the mouse down and then put a little leverage on it. So didn't I just come from there? Or maybe not. They don't give you a lot of lockpicks. Last time I ran out of lockpicks before I was done with the prologue and had to leave. I'm pretty sure you can't come back to this area. So you really want to explore it good while you're here. And take the brains, because those will be used in alchemy. And any spirits or alcohol of any sort. Okay, check that out. Wait, have I been in there? Oh, a pickaxe. Yeah, that's good, because we will find places where you can mine, and you need the ore to make... requires laboratory key. See, what was I saying? Oh, you need the ore that you mine for improving your weapons. You know, some of the guides I found online was like, yeah, just go ahead and upgrade your weapons willy-nilly. Bad advice. At least as far as at least on my playthrough, what happened to me was I upgraded some crummy weapons and then quickly found much better weapons, but then I was completely out of the special meteorite ore, or whatever it is that you need. Okay, why am I so sucky at sneaking? You know, sometimes the people with the mouse are at a real disadvantage, because with the controller you could just barely move, but with the keyboard, you know, it's kind of all or none.
We'll send you to the abyss. You'll suffer for your sins.
Gotta really watch that.
You will burn.
Oh great, two of them.
My faith will not falter.
Man, this blocking is just about worthless. You've got to parry.
You'll suffer for your sins.
You know you do it right when you hear him go backwards. Oh, for Christ's sake. God, I hate running out of stam. Oh, whew, it's tough. Yeah, they're really serious about stamina management. I cannot frickin' wait to level that up. I'm gonna be woo when I finally get to level that up. Okay, what do we got? More notes. I'm not really bothering to read that stuff for my playthrough here, but it's all well written. It's worth looking at. It gives you all the lore you could want. It doesn't feel like just fluff or filler. You know, it all fits the story that they're going for. Let's go ahead and... Yeah. I guess I won't eat yet. We'll try to wait. So I think all these daggers are the same. You know, I'm kind of curious about the dual wield. I'm not sure. I guess just we could try it out and see what we think. Let's see. So what if we got the two? What does that do for me? Huh. I don't know. What do you think? Let's do at least one battle like this and we're kind of just seeing what we like, right? Now what you can do as well is set up a couple different loadouts, they call them. So I could even do this and just say, well, if I'm up against something with a melee or a bludgeoning weakness, maybe that would be the attack, and then I just hit 1 to go back to this. So we can experiment. Okay, I don't think I got anything else worth looking at. What have we here? Oh, I haven't even gotten into magic at all. I don't know if I have any spells. The spells are kind of interesting the way they work. Like I said, I didn't really do much with it because it's so freaking hard. If you spread yourself too thin, you're just going to die. So you need at least one viable survival tactic.
Who's there?
It's Yahoo Serious.
Forgive me, but my eyes fail me these days.
Yahoo, what happened to your hair?
Be here. The question suggests that we can't let the plagues.
So this is what I'm talking about, like nobody's really all good and all bad. It's like even these red priests, you know, they seem like right bastards. Evil, you know, but then when you figure out, well, there's a plague and they don't want the plague to spread and they're desperately looking for a cure, you know, it's not like kind of messes with your logic. It gets in your head a little bit, right? You're like, I don't know what I would do.
I will not ask you for that. It's a trial for. When I discovered that I sought to understand.
So, like, this is a good priest here, or a good brother at least, or monk, I guess.
I also wanted to equip my brother.
You don't look well.
Let's
click through these to see if we get to a quest. If you go through all the dialogue options, sometimes it'll open up a thing in your journal here with the characters. We don't have any yet, but you know, I always like little touches like that. You can go back when you're done for the evening playing and look at your journal, reminisce, see if you missed anything. Yeah, we could rest him. I don't even know if resting does much for us, though. We could try to rest for. I don't know. Again, not clear to me if you get any benefit from this. Sometimes you get something called well rested. Oh, there we go. So we did get the well rested perk. And how can we see what that does? Well rested. Increased experience gained by 10% for 354 seconds. So that's a pretty solid buff. And I'm pretty sure it's 8 hours. Oops, I accidentally took the bowl too. Sage, rosemary, and thyme. You know, they could have done this part better. You know one thing that I can't stand about this game? Just can't stand. Don't ever put a barrel in a CRPG and not let me freaking smash that thing. What is this? What is this? You know, that's one of those, like, it's like the bubble pop, saran pop, or whatever they call that. Oh, jeez. What do they call that, like, bubble pop stuff? It's got a name. I'm blanking on it. Wow. But for me, you come across a big stack of barrels and boxes. I like to just sit here for 5 minutes and, you know, smash them all. Hulk smash! Don't deprive me of that. I don't ask for much. Just patronize. I ask for a couple bucks on my Patreon account. And let me smash a barrel. And let me kill a rat too while you're at it. Well, the good news is we will be killing some rats. Let's see if I can finally sneak up on somebody. Is there no automatic way to do this? Oh, there we go. For some reason I was thinking that would pop up a little opportunity for a cinematic there, but I guess it's just good old power attack. That's alright. But looked like it did work. So as long as everybody's facing away from me and totally oblivious, we won't have any problems. I think when it lights up with the gold lettering like that, there's a quest connected to it. Monster brains. What's this? Swift steps. You know the problem with these potions though, they're so frickin' short-lived. Make sure I've read all these. Just alright, where was the potions? Potions. Swift steps increases movement speed by 20% for 20 seconds. I mean, that's useless. I guess if you really wanted to get away from somebody really bad and you had the wherewithal to... Ooh, what's this? Oh, burning ember. Okay, so that, I believe, is our first magic spell. So we could equip that. So burning ember shoots a small burning projectile. So apparently if you have this in your other hand and you try to parry, it won't work. So that's using that blue bar there. I guess that does automatically regenerate. Okay, so if you found a healing spell and you had enough mana, you could heal up with that instead of food. So that might be worth thinking about. Even if you want to be a straight mage or a thief, you might still want some magic for that.
Free me.
Sounds a little bit like sharp. Who's the Sharp Eagle guys in Game of Thrones? Man, I don't. What is with my brain? Why is it so hard to remember people's names? Like, I should know the name of the guy from Game of Thrones and Sharp Eagles. He's one of Sean Bean. Thank you, brain.
That's not the kind of freedom I'm asking for.
Is that Sean
There's no
Bean?
saving me now. Even if I could escape, I'd only be putting others at risk. You have to kill me.
If it's not him, it's like the Dollar Tree version.
Take my tags to the hole.
He sounds
to the
exactly like him.
Let Fergus know I didn't run.
Ah, I wish I knew if that was Sean Bean or not. Somebody look it up and let me know in the comments. Okay, so we can kill him. We can keep on asking the questions.
The south. It's a keep. If
you kind of want to know this stuff because
you should be able to see its lighthouse.
We're going to go here next.
Beach.
I don't have it in me to kill you. Yeah, here's another one of those for the gruesome moments. Somebody's in pain. They ask for you to kill them. They can do it. Or do you say, I'm not a murderer? On the other hand, I need XP. Sorry, Sean. I thought he said he was never going to be in another movie where they killed him off because it's almost become a meme now. Actually, it's not even almost. It's definitely a meme. Oh, look, the alchemy station. All right, here we go. Time to have some fun. Okay, so it's similar to the cooking. You can make mana potions or small potions. I don't think we can just experiment here. I could be mistaken about that. Actually, yeah, I don't even see an option to experiment, so they might not let you. Okay, so let's make some potions. And again, though, we could increase the amount to try to see if we can get a better potion. But let's just make the default. Go ahead and make some of those. See, it's using up my ale. So any kind of alcohol, this is what I was saying. You want to pick it up at all if you find any, because you can make your healing potions. I don't know if I really need mana potions at this point, but I guess I'll make one too, just to use up some of these ingredients. Alright, let's see what we got here. So we were doing this. We got a weak a weak potion that only does 12, and then we made one that does 28. So I'll keep it there for now. Then it looks like we also have a rejuvenation potion that lasts a minute. It's basically a all-around boost. So I want to keep that handy. The good news is you can take those at any time. You just pause it in combat and you can swig your potions. So it's kind of like Skyrim and as far as that goes. Oops, in the middle of battle, I'll just eat 15 potatoes. Unfortunately, this game, though, it's all, remember, it's those heal over time, so you can't, unless you got the healing potions, I don't think you can just quickly heal back up with combat paused. Alright, I guess we're good for here. No, wait, do we come in here? No. I know there's a big baddie somewhere down under this asylum, and I didn't kill him last time because I just wasn't powerful enough. I was trying to do an archery build, and it just was not working. My bow, for some reason, I was just barely doing any damage at all. And it took like all my stamina.
Everything, I swear. Wait. You want to know about our failure? We wanted a better asylum.
Tell me about your failure.
Something better than we had under Vaughn's control.
So a little bit
we really wanted to help those people. We wanted to improve their condition. But we knew with Father Vaughan, we wanted to get rid of him. At least about me. A shame. We were afraid. No, I will make go.
Not worth it. Leave me behind. Just leave me. Okay, so do we actually want to go that way? Let's see what's down that other path first. Somewhere down here there's a really fun fight. I don't know if I'll ever be able to do it. I'm pretty sure that white button is good for alchemy as well, so I'm picking them up. Holy sh! Oh, that's a lot of them. If I could sneak up on any, that would be great.
Sage.
Doggone it. If I could sneak back here and... Where'd he go? Like a rat in a hole. Oh, I got my sneak. So what if I just sit here for come back, go have dinner? Will it automatically... Will I just keep getting sneakier? Oh, he's looking at me. I wonder if there's a way to like throw a rock. You know, some games will have that kind of mechanic. I'm not even 100% sure what this eye means. Does that mean that they can see me? That I'm detected? I think that's what it means, right? They know something's up. They're on alert. I don't know if it means I can't backstab them if I sneak up from behind them. It's just going to stay lit up, so. Where'd that other guy go? I feel like I might be able to sneak up on that one.
Reveal yourself.
Nope. Oh, Jesus Christ. There's some rhythm to this combat that I've just never mastered, but this... I guess you're supposed to, like, attack a few times, step back, let the stamina build back up, attack.
Be on guard. The
If I just had a longer weapon. Oh, this is cheesy. So a little bit,
Purge the unclean!
I can cheese it this way, I suppose. I never like cheesing a game. Oh, maybe not.
Sacrifice to the prophet!
So if I just keep power attacking.
The prophet wants you dead.
I'm getting better with that parry. Maybe having the dual weapons might be the way to go. Yeah, maybe it makes it easier to parry like that. Okay. Even if it's not super realistic, might be good for the game. Bone meal, monster blood. Alright. Now we're cooking. Well, we're about to be cooking. Oh, got a new potion. Got a new recipe. Yeah, so you definitely want to pick up all the little scraps of paper and stuff you find. Although I think you do have to read it to get the benefit. You can't just have it in your inventory. That's good. Is that where I came in? Yeah. I told you I got direct tile issues. Okay, let's see if we can make some more healing. No, okay. I'm out of the sage. Can make some more mana potions, though. You know, I didn't even think about it, but, you know, if you were a mage, I could have activated that spell back in that hole and probably just projectiled the spell through the hole. Alright, here we go again. Now we can make cabbage rolls. Wow, this onion bun also increases stamina regeneration. That's great. Looks like cabbage rolls are pretty good. Now you can go G and do them all. Okay. Just cook out there, make sure I got plenty of food. Okay, we should be pretty good right now. And I'm in that lab. Alright, what else is there to see here? Athletics. Yeah, everybody gets the athletics, right? I mean, does anybody ever not run through these things? Well, you wouldn't be running in real life. Well, I wouldn't be here in real life. So how about that? Man, this game is good. Oh, look how creepy that looks. You know, though, sometimes I think games should give you a little bit of a contrast, right? Like if the whole game is dark and gloomy versus, you know, a nice little island resort. And then you go to the dark, danky dungeon. Wow, what's this going on? That sounds like a save the game situation. She might attack me.
You're not a priest. Get out of here. Go away before they see you with me. Help? There's nothing wrong with me anymore. See?
Okay, I guess you could continue to talk to her, but...
Go. Go. I don't want your help.
Yeah, I think I must have chose the wrong option if you wanted to do the whatever. There's a quest associated with her. Oh, shoot. It's fussy.
Can you hear me? Can go now.
Yeah, none of them want to go. That's depressing. But you know, it's probably realistic in that sense. What do they call that? The syndrome. You know, if you're imprisoned, you start to like your captors, identify with them. I think it's like Stockholm, I want to say. Stockholm syndrome. But that's real. Oh, there's an origin potion. So, you don't get a lot of opportunities to redo your stats, but matter of fact, if I even leveled up at all. So hold on to those, you know, when if you decide you want a totally different play style, you could use that potion to reset everything.
Don't mind me.
Alright, that's the guy. So I came through that hole. So I basically found another way in here. Gotcha. And how do I get these controls off the screen? I get it.
And who the hell are you? Another one of those red dogs? Say a prayer to your goddess and get ready to die, scum.
Hold on. I don't like your tone.
Then why are you dressed in their bloody rags? Well,
I wonder if I didn't have this armor on, if he would say that.
Maybe the priest messed with your mind, because one more moment and you'd be dead.
Because I know the developer obviously expects you to put on the red priest stuff. But what if you didn't? You know, would they have a different dialogue? That's the kind of thing. It's almost makes me want to reload just to see.
Was I the one doing the torturing? Both, pup. I won't lie. But if you want to get out of here, you'll need to become the damn hammer.
It's hammer time. I don't know, do you want to go full MC? So anyway, this guy will help us out, so I'm going to be...
Really? If you make it to the Forlorn Swords.
There's all this other stuff going on, the politics of the realms, and the tribes, and the Camelot people versus the local guard.
With great...
There's a lot going on.
There was me. I was fighting someone.
We're not playing Legend of Grimrock here.
I don't know.
There's a lot of law.
No time for a chinwag. Just get the hell out of here.
A chinwag. Wow, look at that. Ugh. They really got good use out of that blood asset. Wow, there's a lot to do in here. Eventually I'm going to get too heavy to move. What's this? Rusty spear. Yeah, and all these different weapons have their advantages and disadvantages and strategies that work well and strategies that don't work. In theory, a dagger shouldn't use up a whole lot of stamina, like a big heavy two-handed sword. Yeah, that spear. So you got to have 2 strength and 2 dex just to even wield the thing. And what's that? Oh, okay, so it's got a broken wooden club. I could probably just drop that. Oh, no, keep the daggers. This broken wooden club, let's drop that. Use the regular one. I hope I didn't. I don't think any enchanted daggers snuck in there. Not a whole lot of stuff like that that I could see. It's mostly generic items. At this point. Eventually you start to get cooler stuff.
Trying to escape by trying... Escape?
It's not like Diablo. With
This is...
all the random loots that dropping left and right.
I doubt that. This way of thinking. Twitchy.
So I'm sensing a theme here. Oh, so alt makes you jump. I think that's for dodging. God, as if I could ever be that well coordinated. Do I want to open this? What the hell is that? Whoa. A Bugain. Ooh, that guy had a ring on him. Whoa, whoa. Increase max health by 5. Yeah. It's probably more impressive than it sounds. Oh, so they shot him in with that guy. With that thing? That wasn't very nice. Infected Bugains may spread the illness. Gloves must be reinforced with anti-piercing materials. Oh, so does that mean I... Wait. Gloves must be enforced with anti-piercing materials, so... I don't think he had any special gloves on. They missed a little opportunity there, though. Yeah, they could have had special gloves. Alright. I think we're good there. Jeez, where am I? Okay, I came down there. Or up. Good. Clear. I wonder how often that white button respawns. Let's see if I explored everything. Every nook and cranny. I guess so. Alright, let's continue on. The guy that sprang me out of here must be like, what the hell's taking so long? I told you to hurry. Instead you explode every nook and cranny. Moving like a granny with the nooks and the crannies. What the hell's going on here? How'd you like to have all this in your basement? Okay, so I think once I make this leap, there's no coming back, so I'll save it. And is there a way to get these controls off the screen? I'm tired of seeing that. Controls. Filter items, read, skill tree, maps, toggle weapon. Collect data? Nope. Accessibility, maybe? Large UI mode, subtitles. Game. Difficulty, tutorials, off. Oh, wait. Tutorials, off. There we go. Yeah, somewhere down in here is that big bad. Look at that. Ugh. They should have a sound effect though, like. You know, something they don't often talk about is a bunch of dead corpses like this. They fill with gas, so they like twitch and fart, make sounds. Not that I know that. I can't remember where I heard that. It's like a Dirty Jobs. I think they go to a like a place where they're trying to study decomposition to help with crime. Okay, is this guy got a fight? I think they like forensic science. I think they call that. Yeah, that's the most one of the most not just disgusting but disturbing videos. Thinking this is a bad guy.
Your death is certain.
Oh man. Keep him coming.
Your sins will be punished.
I can't figure out what I'm doing wrong here. So it's like doing a little extra move or something to get. It's like doing this double thing. You gotta like learn the patterns and hit the frickin' parry button at just the right second. I just don't. I hate this kind of crap. I really don't enjoy it. Kind of just ruins it for me when it comes down to like arcade reflexes. See, why didn't that work? I mean, all you can do. This is what I'll ding the game a full point for this. Like, again, I could feel bad. Maybe I suck. Okay, whatever. But it's like, the only thing you can do is just spam these freaking healing potions and just tap as quick as you can and hope you can get rid of him before he gets rid of you. I mean, there's no strategy to this at all.
Heretic!
Ow. Crap. Can't even do it because of the freaking stuff. Because I'm having trouble not dropping F-bombs on this game at this point. So yeah, they hit you so hard with the stam limitation, you can't even try that strategy. Okay, let's take the one that gives us the buff for stam. Alright, so I can't dodge, or I could probably dodge, but I can't seem to parry this guy out. He still got me, even though I parried.
The power of the prophet.
Run! Swig a potion. Ah, man, they made this tough. So I don't mean to complain too much, because I know there's some people that just, this is their freaking crack, you know, some hard game like this so they can brag to everybody that it's not so much they brag as that they shame people that can't do it, you know. Get good, just get good. I freaking hate those people. I hope you're not that kind of person. Probably not if you like the show, but it's okay to brag, just don't put other people down. Alright, so at least I got a ring out of it, right? Oh, thank you, Lord. Oh, thank you. That's going to be a huge difference. That's going to make a big difference. Okay. So let's see. Did I get anything else? Oh, yes. You got a... Receiving melee damage returns 5 physical damage back to the attacker. I gotta look like an idiot, but okay. Worth it. Did I get any other improvements? Doesn't look like anything better. Oh, got some better pants. Got me some new pants. I should probably drop some of this stuff. I don't suppose I got a better weapon. Nope. But that took all my potions. You know, part of it is too, I don't know about you, but when I get into a combat, I tend to get kind of nervous, excited, you know, and it's hard to be real calm. Like, okay, see, look, observe the guy's pattern. Dodge, parry, dodge. You know, good for you if you've got that kind of self-control. Oh, what's that? Is that just another way in? Is that the way I came? Oh God, I'm terrible. But like I say, I got through it. So if you're willing to reload and try it a few times and not get not rage quit. Between having potions and some buffs, and do it a few times so you figure out the patterns, and you could probably get through that battle without even taking a single bit of damage.
So this hop from us.
Not me though. I need armor.
They play with power. It's a fool's dream. Same as you, I guess. Wrong time, wrong place. I was wandering through Kuna. I was kept with the rest of
redheaded rebel in a fantasy game?
I don't know.
Here, this should speed up your healing.
It should, although still, they wouldn't be very gracious.
Oh, what'd you give me?
Why, I hate.
Oh, do you have horns on your head? That's not something you want to ask a lady. I've never found it useful. I've never found it productive. Why do you have little horns on your head? Yeah. Alright, I think ought to be pretty good at this point. It's just starting to get good. I don't even think you had to fight that berserker guy. So that's probably what the developer would say. Look, Matt, it's not that the game is too hard, it's just you're doing challenge stuff, You could just sneak past that guy and never fight him. It's just lame. Would you really want to play a game like that? Just avoiding the challenges? That just seems terrible to me. So one thing about all these two-handed items, one of the big flaws as far as I'm concerned is that you need the shovel, the pickaxe, and there's a woodcutter's axe. And it's so easy if you're not paying attention to drop those or sell those. I really wish it would pop up a little thing and say, are you sure you want to get rid of your last woodcutter's axe? Are you sure about that pickaxe? You might need that. Because it really sucks when you get way down in a place like this. And, oh, there's an ore vein. Oh, I don't have my pickaxe. What happened to my pickaxe? I guess you sold it like a dummy. Alright, I'm back at the... Recognize this place, but I can't make any more potions. Uh-oh. Okay, well, let's just go on back. So I think that... am I good to go? I'm wondering if I've seen everything here, and that's probably a feeling you're going to get a lot as you play this game. Because it's massive. Okay, there's the guy that's waiting on me. Okay. Yeah, just so I could show you what this is like. So if we do the experiment... So apple, venison, and potato. So we can see if that makes anything. And it did! Wow, look at that. Successful. So we made something called Hunter's Delicacy. And then that'll show up here in my recipes list. Then I can work on improving it. So I think they did a great job with that. I love that mechanic. Alright, so I finally found an arrow and some bow. Some bow? I found an arrow. The trouble with a bow and arrow, for one thing, they just don't seem to do enough damage for crap. Maybe I'll have better luck if I really focus on it. But of course, you're not going to sneak up on somebody after you've flunked them with a bow. So you kind of lose that. And I'm pretty sure the sneak attack, better off if you could sneak all the way up to him with a melee weapon than hitting them with a bow, but we can experiment with it and see. What's going on here? Oh. I haven't been here before. I missed this. Should I just reload now? I'm guessing my parry's not gonna work. What the? Thanks. Oh, of course you're out of stam. Yeah, just take it easy while he kills you. I mean, it's taking some of his stam away, but he's got like a ton of it. Ah, that stamina's a problem. You've really got to just not do anything and give it a pause. And see, my tendency is just to keep tapping. It's hard for me to play this game the way it's supposed to be played. But hey, I'm getting better. That wasn't bad, right? So I got a two-handed dull sword. Okay. Well, that's crap. I get any... Got yet another ring. I think I had that already. Grief-torn armor. It's a little bit heavier, but I got a max health boost. I'm not sure is it considered light armor. I think it says medium. I wanted to keep it light. I still don't have any penalties yet, so maybe I'm okay. Let's see if I can learn more about this piece of gear here. How do I get the info sheet? Oh, maybe that is the info sheet. Okay. Queer ass. See, these are all queer asses. Looks like it's a little bit heavier, but maybe it's still light enough not to be a problem. Man. I'm picking up a lot of stuff. I probably need to go through my inventory at some point and drop all the worthless stuff. I think as long as it's a white item and not gray, it's worth a little something to somebody. Of course, by the time I get to a vendor. Red Guard's armor. And I got enough of that. What's going on here? He set himself on fire. You're fired! Literally. Ugh. It's a nice little mobile. I had something like this over my crib as a child. Yeah. Can you even imagine the psyche if that were true? Okay, I think we pretty much cleaned this place out. I'm actually kind of liking this build I got going here. Believe it or not, this is a lot smoother than my first playthrough. There's another shovel, don't need that.
You took your sweet time, eh? I understand.
Kidding.
You have to admit that the Red Priests are quite...
Who are you?
Question, but in case you hadn't noticed...
You didn't think it was going to be that easy, did you?
I'm told this path leads to...
It's so freaking complicated. Oh, I forgot I leveled up. Jesus Christ, be able to do that. Okay, so you got stats and attributes, and I think you get 1 point every time. No, wait, I said that wrong. So you get attributes and skills, I thought. Where's the skills? Maybe they don't show you skills right away. Oh, I got to sit by a fire. That's right. Oh, okay, forgot about that. And it can't be that kind of fire because reasons. So how do we... Oh, we don't have the... Well, we don't have any way to level that? I guess we can't level up yet. Alright. Yeah, you have to make a little campfire. I guess they're not going to give us that option right away. I want you to get through the prologue. Oh, that's alright. Ooh, weird plasm. Picked up some junk by mistake. Again, you got to be careful. You don't want to get too heavy. I got 86 pounds worth of stuff. And it will definitely start to weigh you down. I thought there was an indicator somewhere. Oh, can I? Nope. Can't keep tapping. Got to give that stamina a chance to recharge. You know, I think the problem is, it's not that the games like this require real fast reflexes. It's just you can't get in a hurry and just rapidly click. You've got to, you know, take it slow and just wait for it. You know, I guess that's what it is. It's the waiting for it. It gets me freaking every time. Underground one does. Yeah, so what? You've seen me pick up about 3 novels worth of text at this point. If you wanted to read all of it, that's how you get your full money out of a game. But there's a lot of clues in here you'll need too. I don't want to spoil stuff for you, but like this isn't going to work yet. They show you kind of it's almost like a mist or a ribbon-like element, stuff like this. There's always a little bit of discussion about whether that's good or bad in a role-playing game. Like, do you want puzzles? Do the puzzles just distract you? Or are they cool? I tend to love puzzles. I mean, I love Myst and Ribbon. Those are my favorite games. So obviously it doesn't bother me, but you know, I get it if it's some really obtuse puzzle, you're stuck on it, and there's no other way to get on with the game. I mean, I get why that's irritating. Already been here. It's taking me a little bit longer to get through the prologue than I thought, but we'll keep it rolling. Don't think I can get through here yet. We've got to have the big reveal. We've been up these steps. Yes. That's a very short bow. I mean, very short. Oh, I think this already had one of those. So that does 7 to 10 damage. Even my dagger does more damage than that. You know, I gotta beg to differ with these guys. There's only a few games I think that really get the deadliness of archery down. You know, that's the main reason they're wearing these big shields and armor, right? Because that arrow goes through your neck or your chest or whatever, you're done. That's it. It came over, and you wouldn't even see it coming. You know, like, well, I'm dead. I mean, I get it again from a gameplay perspective. Why you wouldn't want to just, you know, not even be able to see what just killed you. But at the very least, arrows are bad news. I've yet to be able to use it. No, too soon. Alright, got him. Alright. Oh, too soon. Jeez, come on, Matt. Wait for it. Got it. I did it. Oh, I don't think I did too well. Clearly takes a lot of practice to get that down. Maybe there's like a partial parry that it's doing. You know, sometimes they'll have a perfect, flawless parry, but sometimes if you sort of close enough, they'll kind of give you a little bit of credit. Maybe you don't take full damage. Alright. So I think this is where we get to the big part of the story. I'll skip some of this, because again, you probably don't want to just watch it all. Oh, I remember this now. Yeah, so now we're kind of in this fantasy or psychological realm, whatever you want to call it. Yeah, this part to me, for some reason, reminded me of World of Warcraft. You know, it's such a strong resemblance to like Outlands. I had to stop and go play WoW for a while. You know, this is what really WoW should look like nowadays if they weren't so lazy. I remember playing this H.P. Lovecraft inspired. It was like a Jules Verne Lovecraft mashup. You had to take a bunch of drugs, and then you got into a sphere, and you go to this other realm. I can't even remember what the name of that game was, but it reminds me of this. Yeah, I don't think OSHA would approve this workplace environment is not safe.
Gift. Peace. Fear. Not.
These twisty little passages. This is what just walking around is like for me. Where am I going? Oh my goodness. Can I pick that? Nope.
I've been waiting a long time for someone to find me. Are you here to help me leave this place?
I bet you can't guess who this is. What are you?
I wish I could answer. I remember I once knew.
How convenient. Amnesia works every time.
I do not know. And you? Are men here? But
You know, there's a reason they use amnesia over and over in games like this, because it's very conducive to a game. Because you can kind of learn who you are along with the character.
I remember arriving on the shores of Avalon. That was the beginning of everything.
Get a flashback.
But there were doubts and questions. How does it feel to leave your homeland behind? To keep moving forward, even though every step takes you into the unknown?
Whoa!
The Four Dwellers quickly made it clear to us. If we wanted to call this place home, we'd have to fight for it. Down to the last. In the end, we won the war. Merlin stole the sacred flame of the Four Dwellers and ignited the menhirs, driving away the mist and clearing the nights of weirdness. It was the first time we uncovered the secrets hidden within the menhirs.
Yeah, as I said, it's a cool story. It really does some cool things with
Still,
Merlin.
the land of Avalon honored our toil. It soaked up our sweat, our suffering, and our blood. In time, it rewarded us. Here in Avalon, we were given the chance to create great things. Camelot, the eternal castle, the capital of all humankind, was meant to be a symbol of that. We left the homelands to survive. The plague had consumed everything we once knew. We thought we'd escaped it, but the Red Death returned like a specter to haunt us. Once again, it began to devour our home.
if I could do that. The Alt key is tricky for me to hit. That one down, but you're supposed to be able to, yeah, if you just hit it at the right time, you can dodge. Like that. I don't think that does anything to them, though. So really, you want to figure out that parry mechanic. That's the bottom line. What's that down there? Is this a little secret area? Nope. It is a stupid area. You're going to burn. Uh-oh. Do I really have to burn? No. Good. Let's try the bow out if I can ever even shoot the stupid thing. So I'm sneaking. There he is. Alright, so that did some damage. Didn't kill him. I mean, how could you use this thing? Because, I mean, they get up to you before you're not even halfway dead. I don't know, maybe if you just really fixated on bows. Oh, broken arrow. Yeah, I mean, how would you even keep enough arrows at this point? So I feel like the bow is something you really would have to specialize in, and you'd have to be careful. Not just with where you're aiming, not to miss, but make sure you have enough arrows to keep going. Let's try this guy. What I'm curious about is if you get a sneak attack bonus. Is there anything else to see here? Sometimes when it's supposed to be an imaginary realm or whatever this is, they don't give you any items at all. They were just a flashback, right? He's just telling us what happened, and yet somehow we could die. Power of storytelling. That is a door. Yeah, look at this. World of Warcraft tries to reach this level of what's the word for it? Emotion, resonance. It's just so well done. I mean, it's just like, if you ever read the old heavy metal magazine, you know, some of those stories that reach these sorts of levels of just where the art and emotion and symbolism and all that comes together. Music, well, not in a magazine, but you know what I mean. It just feels important. It feels meaningful. Believe me, if you actually do read all the stuff leading up to this. It's like that old Vikings show. That's not that old, but freaking love that. I would argue there's even a little bit of H.R. Giger work here. I mean, doesn't that look kind of like Alien? Yeah, definitely. It's like Druid meets It's like Lovecraft and Giger. It's just, dude. Oh, it's so good.
Oh, awaken thee, once and future king.
Yeah, I was gonna say that's the Arthur I'm familiar with. Is Once and Future King by T.H. White. Yeah, I read that as a kid. Freaking loved it. Then I got into. I never read that French one, the Mort d'Arthur, however you say that. It's a little bit dry for a high school kid, but I love the T.H. White one.
I am his hunger, the craving for what was beyond
I like that
reach.
Merlin TV show. There's a couple of them, but the one with the younger guys, like the young Merlin, that's such a good show. I loved it.
I am the price paid for touching the unreal.
I wonder if there's a really good sort of Game of Thrones like take on the Arthurian legends. There must be like 100 series like that by this point, right? I'd love to just catch up a little bit with that because I haven't read any. I know you got like the Mists of Avalon, but
yes.
that was
I can
old
see
by this
through
point.
the mist, but it's still all so unclear. I've dreamt of countless deaths, yes.
Which dawn awake? I'm trying to skip some of this just so I don't spoil the whole deal for you.
I am Arthur Pendragon.
Well, okay, too late.
I led humans to Avalon shores.
You'd have to be pretty dense
I
not to see
built
this
the
coming.
great halls of Camelot.
With a K, damn it!
Thank you for bringing me here. I believe I owe you, young one.
It's an honor, my king.
I appreciate it. But now, we need to... I trust you'll accompany me. Trust me, I remember ages upon perhaps. I am...
You don't remember
not
good.
Sure. It seems to be a place but why was it created? But that's enough questions for now. After years of struggle, I must see the leg...
It's not gonna be that easy. You didn't think it was gonna be that easy, did you? He's being attacked by soap bubbles.
I am not whole. You have only freed a part of me.
But it was the best part.
Strong enough. For now, I'll see the world.
I will be your Cortana.
You are a surprising acquaintance, and since it seems seeing my
Yeah, I should have
legacy
picked the other
through
option
eyes
just to
of
see what
another,
happens.
a true.
I kind of felt like obviously we're supposed to try to side with him, but then again, maybe not. I mean, I know there's a lot more to this. There's never just simple good and bad. Arthur might turn out to be the real bad guy all along. Whee! I guess I can't do anything. I mean, I think I'm about to the 3rd chapter at this point of my other game. We can check in a minute, but I've still got lots of questions. I'm just trying to get far enough along so we can level this guy up once, and then I'll switch over because I still haven't got the level. We have to be at a campfire to do that. Okay, so now this should work. Yeah. Oh, wait, can I get through there? No, we cannot. But this should work. Got a little bit of that weirdness. Alright, save. Save every 2 seconds. Whoa. Look how cool this is, man. Check it out. Look at these guys. Conan didn't have to do it for that long. I just love this, man. It's like something out of a dream. Totally badass. You know, one of the criticisms of the game, I guess I can get into that at some point here, but they'll. One of the things I saw over and over again was that you know, it has such a great start. You know, you see all this, you're like, wow, this game's amazing. And then by the end of it, it's lost pretty much all its steam, so to speak. So it doesn't end well. You know, in a game developer's defense, most people don't finish a game. So obviously you're going to want to spend most of your time with just trying to make the first parts as good as possible. But my understanding is, in this most recent patch, they did this huge patch. And supposedly it was to try to fix all those shortcomings. And other things I've read since then have said that they succeeded in that. So if you've been looking at old reviews, that might be something to think about. Uh-oh. Yeah. Gonna need the superpower. So I forgot to mention that, but you do get some superpowers. Okay, so basically with Arthur, you pick up these, I forget what they call them. Where is it? It might not be listed here yet, but basically superpowers, I guess is the best way to describe it. Weird powers, I forget what they call them, but if you hit the middle mouse button, you can activate it and it'll slow down time. And it's pretty much a necessity with a real tough battle when you're weak. But it's kind of tricky to get it powered back up. I think it powers up if you rest. There's ways to spend some points on it to get it to recharge. But you can't be using it every battle, that's for sure. It's just you want to save it for really tough ones. Man, that is neat looking, but at least I came that way. Okay. Let me just make sure I didn't forget I picked up an item or something. Okay, so I got a ring of toughness, increase encumbrance limit by 25. That's a lot more valuable than it seems. That's going to come in very handy. Okay, I don't think I picked up anything else worth messing with at the moment. Keep collecting my white button. Okay. I think we're just about out of the prologue at this point. And that would be a good stopping point. So I'm trying to get there. I've got some other stuff I have to do today, but hopefully I can get this done and get it out tonight. So I'm still on the prologue because I can't look at the map. You know, don't you like how quick the crafting is, though? Like a lot of games will show you some stupid animation for picking an herb or something. That, you know, just a time waster. And I guess I kind of get it in a case like World of Warcraft, because, you know, part of it is dragging it out, right? So you stay on for longer. See, here's a use for that shovel. But in a game like this, I think it makes sense the way they've done it. So you see the herb, you click it, boom. You know, I would almost like it better if you could just turn on like an auto harvest so you didn't even have to click. Just like an arcade game, you run over the coin, you pick up the coin. Oh, there's a cooking pot. Okay. could try to experiment again, but I don't think that's going to make anything. Let's see. Fish, groats, apples, parsley, honey, onion, egg and onion, and fish, pork. How about a pork? Onion, where'd the onion go? Maybe a potato? Let's see if that does anything. Nope. Fail. I don't want to do that too many times because, see, I'm going to need that food, a lot of it, because I'm not the best at the parry mechanics. Where the heck am I anyway? Oh, there's another chest. Yes, I buried my coin purse, a coin, a spear, and some flame resin. Those resins are really cool too, by the way. I can show you that real quick. So we could put it here, or we could just use it in the regular inventory. But so you get 60 seconds inflicting a burn buildup. So next time we get into a fight, I will. You know, like in this business with the shovels, you know, I don't know why you can't just stick that in some special slot of your inventory somewhere and then not never have to think about it again. Like, don't make me think about having to dig out a shovel and put my regular weapon back on. You know, it automatically gets it out for you, but it doesn't put it away for you. So if you're not thinking about it, you go into battle with a frickin' shovel. You know, somebody on Discord was telling me that this game was literally taking them forever because they just wanted to explore literally every possible nook. So what I was kind of dabbling with here, I wanted to see if they hid stuff in like this old ship. I mean, this would be a good place to... Oh, I see some chests. You know, you make an area kind of hard to get to, and you... That's what I used to love about Oblivion. You know, you could really find stuff in weird places most people wouldn't think to look. I'm gonna drown trying to get on top of that. Man, I guess you do have to walk along this rail. Okay. Come on. Ah! Okay, come on. You know, there is a mode. Yeah, there we go. You can see your guy. They frown upon using this, they said. It's only for people with a... Oh, Archer's Ring! Ooh, a pearl necklace. Okay. Okay. I don't know why I need a pearl necklace, but let's see. Increase range damage by 15%. And again, we have this problem I always complain about with fantasy games. I've got 10 fingers. Okay. 8 if you don't count the thumbs, but I could put a ring on my thumb. If I want that 15%, I'm not going to just stick to 2 fingers, one on each hand, people. I am going to put a ring on every finger. I'm going to have rings on my toes. I'm going to have rings on other things. Any place on my body where I can affix a ring, I will ring up and get those bonuses. So the idea that I would only have these 2 rings, you know, you could put more than 1 ring on a finger. I mean, have we learned nothing from Mr. T? You don't need 1 necklace, you got 50 necklaces. That's my rant for the day. But anyway, you see what they're talking about, right? You dig around, you go someplace. I bet you could go all the way out to that island over there. Way out there, there might be even more stuff. So I love it when they when a game developer puts those little touches to... Yeah, you can just kind of casually roll through here and not bother, but if you do really take that time and explore, they'll make it worth it with some cool stuff most people don't see. Alright, but anyway, let's get out of this prologue. Will I ever get to level up is the question. You know, I don't know. Maybe you could even be level 3 before you even got to level. Okay, I can talk to you. Yes, I see you. But first, gotta get the milkweed. Gotta go over here. Who's this guy? Ooh, a nobleman. What do you think his story is? Nobleman out here with a shovel. I don't think it's better gear. Well, I think there's a necklace. Oh, I could wear it, but it's garbage. It's so garbagey we don't even show it on you. Okay, let's go ahead and get out of here. That's a bow.
There you are. It took you a while. I even realized that I didn't get a chance to introduce myself. I'm Caradoc.
Not to be confused with Carrot Top.
Figured you would. But you're standing here? Look.
I found King Arthur.
Really? Then can you explain how you were suddenly cured of an illness that... Well,
just keep
maybe
lying.
the fact you were able to do that is why I was... Anyway, get some rest. All I know is I was supposed to help you, but it looks like you're... From what I understand, the Red Priests... My goal is to destroy King Arthur. To get rid of him. There are pieces of his soul scattered across... Long story short, every single time
pieces
things
of the
like this happened
crystal.
before, my journey... I understand. We will, however, meet again. But you still need a way to get out of this, unless you want to stay here.
I'll stay. Would it really let me choose that, I wonder?
I really thought you were...
I'll probably get to talk to him again. I hope I didn't just screw things up for myself. And we better talk to him. You changed your mind.
To the horns of the sun, or at least what's hiding within.
That'd be funny if
that
it just
dam.
popped up.
If
Said,
you do
game
decide to
over.
leave, and
You
when
made
get
a stupid
inside,
choice.
I have something to do first. Set up a camp and get on here.
Okay, I think I can finally level. Okay, so if I hold the Q, and then I go to the bonfire. So you can make these anywhere, and then we can talk to Arthur again. I won't do that though, because you probably want to explore that on your own. But I do want to level up and show you what happens. Okay. Took me a long time to get here, sorry, but we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 different attributes. And these all tie, of course, into the other screen with the skills. So we can go through these quickly. Strength, pretty much what you'd expect. Melee damage. It does control the maximum stamina. That one's a little confusing. You know, endurance and strength kind of always seem like the same kind of a thing to me, but here they're different. So the armor weight multiplier goes down 1% for every point we put into strength. The reason that's important, if you want to wear anything other than the light armor, this thing will keep ticking up. And see, so right now we got no changes. So we're under this threshold. But if we start to get to closer to medium or heavy, pretty soon we're going to start taking penalties. You won't be able to dash as much, which that's not as big. Oh, dashing is what I was calling dodging a while ago. So you won't be able to do that as much, but more importantly, all this other stuff will start tanking, like your attack speed, your movement speed, stamina regeneration. So that's going to hurt. So even if you are playing a fairly lightly armored character, you still might want to be thinking about that strength and that armor weight multiplier. All right. Not to mention maximum stamina. So if you need to make that extra 3 whacks to kill the guy, you're going to need some strength. Endurance, again, maximum health. Encumbrance limit. That's the thing that throws me, and I think is stupid. Endurance is not... Strength, the stronger you are, the more crap you can carry. I'm sorry. I don't know why this is here under endurance. Doesn't even make a lot of sense to me that we need a separate stat. I would just mix the two, if it were me, and have strength and endurance be the same stat. But what do I know? Encumbrance limit. So if you want to carry a lot of stuff, you have to bump up your endurance. Plus, the faster your stamina regenerates, probably not a big deal until you start to actually have some stam to regenerate. But that can make a big difference. Plus, your maximum health will be huge. What do they call this in other games? Constitution? Dexterity is what I'm thinking I'll probably want to keep pumping points into for a while. Because you see my attack speed is there. If I'm not doing too much damage, you want to be able to attack quickly. Noise and visibility is probably going to be huge with my stealthing. And it also covers range damage. Because I guess, spell power. Spirituality is pretty obvious. Practicality is an interesting one. So that's my crafting. It doesn't, price of sold goods is here, which is actually more important than you might think. Because you do need to buy a lot of stuff and sell a lot of stuff. And you're going to be just making pennies until you put some points into this. So that's a big factor. It might actually be the best thing to put a point into right away. Because you got all this junk to carry and you probably want to get some better gear right away. So it'd be nice to get the 10% bonus on selling stuff. And then finally perception, which is something I didn't deal with in my other character too much. But you can see this will be a really good one for my sort of thief character I'm building here. Because it's got the sneak damage, crit chance, crit damage all tied into one here. So I'm thinking probably my main stat is going to be dexterity. So I'll put a point there. And we'll see the difference that makes. Then we got these skill trees. And I really think they did a really good job here. So you can see they tie them into those stats we were talking about. But it doesn't mean that all I ever have to do is look at dexterity. Because there's a lot of cool stuff. And like practicality will get more out of my armor. Statuses, the crafting. Of course, the healing is over here for some reason. Probably not going to use spirituality unless we actually do get into spellcasting. The stealth is here under perception, which makes sense. Critical hits. Daggers is here under perception. So let's just see what all we can do. Yeah, and even strength, like it's going to affect the styles. So let's just do some quick figuring here. So one good choice, I think, would be just to put a point here in endurance stamina. Get 7 more stamina. That's a huge... That could be a game changer. Same thing with maximum health. I like this one because it's a percentage. The stamina, I think, is just straight 7. You have to do some math sometimes to figure out what's the better deal. But okay. Or I could go here under dexterity and look at parry. So this is what I was talking about. With people like me that are really struggling with parry, you put some points into Parry King here, and that will increase that window by 1/10 of a second. And there's 3 of them. So I guess by the end of that, you're getting almost a half second, or I guess 3/10 of a second, bigger window to parry correctly. So unless you've got really good timing and reflexes, that's probably going to be a really important one. Make it a lot less stressful. For sure. Or we could, do the attack speed there. Let's look at daggers. So dagger proficiency, backstabs with daggers have a 33% increased chance to be critical. Okay, so I guess it's not guaranteed that you get the crit with the back. Unless you put, I guess if you get 3 of these, it'd be like a 99% chance. So if we could sneak up on people, that's a really good use of that. We could scroll here and see what else we could do. Attack speed goes up. Backstabs drain the target stamina. So this is really a backstabbing build. What the hell, even though I've never... I feel like we need to be stealthier before we'll even have a chance to to do any backstabs. So that brings your noise down by a full 20%. I think that's going to be my first pick. That's a lot. That ought to make it a lot easier to sneak around. Okay, then we could cook. Again, you can talk to him. This is where you can restore the power. You need these ethereal cobwebs to basically pump up these fires and do some extra cool stuff like alchemy, or you can teleport around. But I don't know how much of this weird soul or the cobwebs you're going to find at this point. They're kind of tough to farm, at least for me, so maybe I have to talk to this guy to make it advance. Or did he want me to rest?
Well,
so Arthur here is in my head. Again, kind of like Cortana.
that is all.
He's got his own
No,
perspective, and you're going to have to decide who do you want to trust.
When and if
Okay, let's just go ahead and rest. And then I think we'll, yeah, he's back. Yeah, one of the cool dynamics about this game is at nighttime, things get a lot different, and there's an hour of like the weirdness or something like that, there's a period, and that's when the really bad stuff comes out. You will die.
The sea was restless. Waves.
You will
slanging
most
against-
likely die. But that's how you can collect the cobwebs too. But it's kind of a neat thing. If you're going to have a day-nighttime cycle, at least make it integral somehow to the mechanics, right? And not just always a pain. You know, this one's like 90% pain, like all the other games like that, because it always boils down to, oh, I need to buy something. Oh, I can't go to the vendor because they're closed. Gotta rest, find a campfire, rest for 4 hours, come back. You know, it's just... Come on. Got me some crab. You know, I actually didn't know you could kill these guys. That's neat. Give me a little crab meat. That's actually kind of fun. Look at all these crabs. Got crabs. Come here, you crabby. Crabby mats. Come here, you crabby. Ah, gotcha. Yeah, see, I could just do that for 2 hours. Seriously. Oh, a short sword. Now that you've specialized in daggers, let me give you a awesome short sword. I got that milkweed. One more. Ah, I got you. Is that a potato? Oh, crab, all you wanted was a potato, and all you got was death. Death potato. Anything else here? Yeah, this game is fun. Just when you thought it couldn't get any more fun, there's a bunch of crabs. Alright, let's just go a little bit more. I might not even bother showing you my later game, because I'm liking this character a lot more. You know, a lot of times a game like this, you start a character until you kind of learn the ropes a little bit. And I guess you could have taken... I could take one of those respec potions. But sometimes you just want to start over, right? Now that you kind of know what you're doing. It's not so frustrating anymore because you kind of know what to do. Know what to look for. Alright, like I know that now I have a map. You probably want to get on to town before you start messing with these random monsters. They are tough. I don't know if that's a bad guy or a good guy. See, that's the hard thing, is if I knew for sure it was a bad guy, I could just sneak up and backstab him, but he might not be a bad guy. I don't think he's a bad guy. No.
Oi! Oi! Where do you can, what do you think? Doesn't hurt that it pays well.
Isn't that King Arthur?
Aye, it is.
It feels a bit disrespectful.
For a moment there, I can't stand that.
Alright, so yeah, he's desecrating a monument. Nothing to see here. Got some copper ore. Ooh, that takes some stamina out of you. See what I mean? It's like tunnels here. Now I gotta check this out. Side quest, sidetracked. Alright, I really gotta go, unfortunately. Let's just see what the first mob is here. Are these friendlies? There's hardly anybody friendly in this game, so I'd be surprised. Oh, I didn't get to a vendor yet either, so I'm gonna get weighed down here pretty quickly. Is that a shield, or what is that? A wheel? Is that a fish? Rockfish. Look at all this. See, I ought to just be able to throw a fireball or something and just destroy all this and get the wood. Because, you know, it's another thing about this game, you need wood. So why can't I smash these barrels up and get all that wood? Why can't I rest in that? Okay, should have got plenty of recipes from that. Alright, we don't have time for this. You know, I'm kind of getting attached to this character, though, for real. I might just have to stick to this. Alright. Oh, God. Now I'm totally lost. Is this the way I came in? Okay, that's where I came in. Gotcha. There's another path, and then there's a way up. Let's see what's up. Some carrots. You know, when we do get to our storage chest, we can put all these mats in there and they won't weigh us down, but use them from anywhere. Which I know that's not very realistic, but I think that's great because otherwise it just makes something into such tedium you don't even bother doing the crafting. Alright, so then we can go down here. Ooh. You know, this is just like a little throwaway dungeon here. Kind of like, you know, Skyrim has this too, of course. All these little sides and extra stuff you can do, but I think this game does a little better job of making it all connected to the story somehow. Unfortunately, now I am out of I'm way down, so I need to get rid of some stuff. So let's sort by weight and then see if we can lose some of the junkier items that aren't worth anything. Couple of plates there, we can certainly drop those. I don't want to throw away that. Rid of some of the junk. That's a hell of a spoon. Oh, I got a torch. You know, I wonder what a torch does exactly. Is that... I mean, I know what a torch does, people, but I mean... like, how does it work in the game? Let's try it here. So let's just say I had a... short sword, torch. Let's just see what... so I can attack with that? Does it set people on fire? So many questions. Ooh, what's that? Huh. You're gonna want all the ore. You really want something called meteorites. Meteorite ore. You need that to upgrade your weapons. And again, you don't want to just upgrade everything. Sad to say, you gotta be careful. Well, like there's a... actually, I don't know about that. Might be that some of these ore veins repopulate after a while. All I can tell you is that eventually you get to a point where you need this meteorite ore or special kinds of ore to upgrade something, and those are finite for sure. Okay, there's some of those guys. Let's see if we can pop them with an arrow. I can't tell if I hit it or not. Oops. Jesus. Yep. Oh. Oh, they're throwing rocks at me. Oh, this ain't gonna go well. Take pot. Oh, that was still around. I totally dodged that. Oh, nasty. Man, I completely lost track of what I was saying too. Yeah, that encumbrance limit though was so annoying. I actually started to put points into endurance just so I could carry more stuff. I don't want to forget too that I got that ring I could put on. If we really find a lot of good stuff, I could swap my 5 bonus stam or health for 25 more encumbrance per Whoa! Oh! Oh, I didn't know you were here, sir. Oh, and I'm already out of stam, of course. I better take some potions quick. Let's see what I got. I hope I got something that's going to help here. Yeah, I got one of those rejuvenations. I thought I had a... Yeah, somewhere here we've got the resin. Where did that go? Yeah, here's the coating. Oh, I got him bleeding. Come on. God dang, it's such a pain with stam. Oh, he's gonna kill me for sure. I hope I got some more healing potions. Ah, boy. I probably shouldn't have come down here. All the potions. What this comes down to is, do I have enough potions to... Damn. Alright. Maybe that dash might be... Come on! Frickin' hit him! Shoot! If I can get up here and recover a little bit. Nope. Okay, forget the counter. Forget the parry. Let's just dash if we can possibly do that. It just runs out of juice so quick. Come on, he's almost down. Ah, whoo! Got him. Yeah, it's not exactly a rat, but it's close enough, I think, for me to claim victory. Yikes. Oh, that was tough. That was tough. Okay, I guess I got... You'd think after a fight like that, there'd be some decent loot. Maybe not. Unless the corpse is worth something. I got a few parts off of him. Do I want to go down this? Oh, look. Oh, man. I've got to go. This game is... Oh, okay. See, look at the... Like, again, just a little throwaway thing, and it's turning into this massive place. It'd take you probably a good hour or two to fully explore, but... Let's go ahead and we'll do... Oh, I can't... That's right. You can't level up inside a dungeon. So I'd have to go out if I wanted to... Oh. I'd have to go outside to level up again. I'm not sure how far away I am from that. Oh, look, even underwater there's stuff. What was that stuff? The Reaper's Shroud. Okay, what is that? Oh, it's a spell. Charged by killing. Requires 3 spirituality. Interesting. Oh, I think now I'm way down again. Ah! Let's try that ring. Just to, I need to get out of here. So that should, yeah, speed me back up. Some Orb of Vortex. Look at all that stuff. There's been a mage down here. That's what it was, right? Some more spells. No, it's a weapon relic. Yeah, that's a whole other mechanic in this game. You can put these relics on weapons and gain some perks that way. And the cool thing about that is, see, there's some of that meteorite. The cool thing about the relics is you can. Man, I just keep finding stuff. But the relics you can take on and put off. So if you find a better weapon, you can just transfer it to the. You can transfer it to the. Increases movement speed multiplied by 5% when not in combat. To the new weapon. So let me try that again. So the relics, you find them for weapons and armor. And you can put them on and take them off. You do have to pay to open up a slot on the item. But that's okay. It's manageable. So I like that. It gives you kind of a way to customize your stuff without having to make too serious of a commitment to one thing. Because, you know, the problem in a game like this is you never know what you're going to find next, right? So you put all this work into an item and then, 2 minutes later you got a better one. And then all that enhancement you did was for nothing. Man, what I wouldn't give for a freaking map. They don't give you maps when you're inside these dungeons. Not sure if there's anything you can do about that. I mean, I guess you could load up the game Banshee. It's probably got a map. Remember those days, huh? Oh. They really knocked it out of the park with these dungeons, though. I mean, this feels like a real dungeon. Not that I've ever been in a real dungeon. Did I just circle back? Oh, good grief. No, I didn't. Okay, there's the geography. Alright, I think I need to get up on that. Let's see. Yeah, here we go. Wait, I don't think I've been here. So either I haven't been here before or I missed some items. Okay. Yeah, I think I'll just skip showing you my other character in the interest of time, but pretty much. Whoa! Oh, great. Okay, go back inside. Shoot. Oh, what the hell? Where do these guys come from? At least let me level up first. See if I can ping them with these arrows. Maybe. Man, you see how worthless that is? It just no damage. Oh, and the stam's gone again. Oh, this is intolerable. They don't have any problem hitting me. So you're telling me that... I mean, did it even scratch him? Why do you even... How in the hell do you do an archery build? I mean, it's hard enough with melee. Oh, stam gone. Okay, gotta remember. Pause after every attack. So these guys don't even have stamina, so there's not really any point in trying to parry them. I mean, you could just as easily dash out of the way. Alright, let me stop here. You see how addictive this game is. I mean, you know, as much as I complain about the battles being tough, again, it's important to realize that it's a role-playing game, you know? So they want to make it tough and feel frustrating so that you give you a reason to want to keep leveling up and getting better, and you can see the results of that pretty immediately. So the question at this point would be, do I want to do some endurance because it gets a little bit better survivability, I can carry more stuff, my stam regenerates more. Maybe I just want more max stam. You know, so I put a couple points into strength to get that stam, because if I just keep on with dexterity, I'm never going to get better in those areas, right? So it really kind of makes you want to spread out here and not get too concentrated. On the other hand, yeah, if you look here at dexterity, this doesn't make the damage to the dagger directly go up, right? It's strength is melee damage, so you're going to have to balance out. So you're going to have a little bit of strength. I guess you don't technically have to have endurance, but good luck if you don't. I think the most immediate thing I might see, well, see perception. So it's not like the only one I could probably do without completely is spirituality if I just absolutely do not want to cast a spell. But you know, I'm looking here at strength and thinking, I'll pump that up. It gives me a little bit more stamina. Not sure how that's working. Melee damage goes from 101 to 102. If I plug in dexterity, see, this is more about ranged attack speed, and noise. Let's try the perception just to see what happens there. Okay, so that bumps all those up. Sneak damage. I wish it would spell out what a sneak damage, what that amounts to. Is that an attack if you're hidden? That's the way I interpret that. It's just not that big of a boost. What about endurance? Okay, so that would make a big difference. I'd go from 53 hit points to 61. Be able to carry more stuff, regenerate more stam. I think it'd be okay to put a point into endurance. Just for a little bit better survivability and carrying more stuff. And then let's, since I'm suffering so much with the parry, let me increase that parry window. So that ought to make that a lot easier to deal with. So there's a couple good perks. And of course, as soon as you level up, you're like, oh, I want to go try it now. Let's see how it goes now. You know, now that I got an extra point of endurance. But what I would want to do, obviously, is get to the town and sell all this stuff. But oh, I'll tell you what. Let's take a look at the other character real quick, and then I'll give you my take on this. Let's see. Matthew, Matt. I think this is the last of my quick saves on my other character. See where he is. He's basically a tank. He got some crazy weapons. Where am I? Oh yes, I remember this. Fields of Light. It's a pretty map. Yeah, there's ways to teleport around too. It's pretty neat. I wonder if I could get into a... How long it'd take me to find a place to fight. I think I ought to be able to find some monsters, just to show you what this looks like. Yeah, I should just be able to. There's no shortage of monsters roaming around once you get out of town. There's a cow. Could kill the cow. Ah! Leather. Cows attack. You know, in real life, wouldn't somebody be...
This isn't worth dying over.
What? What are you talking about? Oh, I guess they're nervous because they slaughtered their cow. Whoa, look at that. Could fall to my death. Get some roses. Okay, I think we're coming up on some bad guys here. So I gave up on I was having such a tough time trying to sneak around. I just said to hell with it. I'll just make a character that just charges in. And that worked out pretty well. So yeah, if you have a vision, a certain thing you want to do, like for this guy, I wanted just to be able to charge in and not have to deal too much with stealth or anything like that. Yeah, let me do that. Now, unfortunately, this place was crawling with monsters. And then I try to show you something, and of course I can't find a single one. There's some deer. Yeah, I got a bow with this guy. We'll see if he's any better. No. I still got him. You see the way that deer just kind of flipped over? That's kind of the haptic stuff they're talking about it. It's very physical feeling, tactile.
We may be in for a fight.
Oh, here we go. So like with this guy, he's got a shield, so it's a lot easier to block.
I will be your downfall.
Now you can also do the parry with the shield. Oh, yeah, whatever the F that is, cheating maneuver.
Show me what you're made of.
You see, if I time it right. Come on. No, no.
Back to your hovel, coward.
Oh man.
You'll fall to my sword.
Even with this guy, I just have to swig potions. Actually, what I do is
You'll fall to my sword.
if you just back away at the right time. And sometimes you can kind of grim rocket, which by that I mean you kind of sidestep around them. There's a word for that. What is that called? Strafe? You kind of strafe around them and just, if you time it right, you kind of do it that way. I wish this, if I remap this dash button somewhere else, I might be able to do it that way too. Because if you hit, you hit the Alt key, and that'll let you dodge out of the way. Oh, crap. Holy shit, that thing does a lot of damage. Yeah, that's another thing I don't like about the game, is just, I don't like one-shots. I think that's really stupid. You know, I got armor and shield and all this stuff, so I shouldn't ever get one-shotted. You know, you want to do enough damage to let me know. Yeah, you should have dodged that. Okay, you don't have to frickin' take me down to 1%. I get the point. You know, what's the point of having all this armor and all this other stuff if I literally just one attack, you know? Okay. Let me get the autofill. Yeah, okay, whatever. I'm gonna need all these potions. That's just a random... Oh, even blocking, he's still doing that crap. I don't know, was there a tell when he's going to do that? Jesus. Okay. So it doesn't get any easier. You know, I was hoping I would show you some nice, easy combat with this. With my other character. But even with him, it's a real struggle. So, I don't know. I mean, I feel like if I was going to criticize the game, it would just be that unevenness to it. You know, you're rocking out, you feel like you're tough, you're doing great, and then just randomly, oh, here's a Croakmaw, and he almost one-shots you. And you have to suck down 12 potions just to defeat him. You know, and there's probably some stupid trick with like, oh, just the right second, you know, then dash and dodge and You know, I just freaking don't like it. I like a game where when you're leveled up and you got really good gear and, you know, you put stats, you know, it shouldn't be that, shouldn't come down to just how fast I can tap a button or hit a dash button or block and parry just the precise time. It just feels stupid. It's like, it's just working at cross purposes. Is it a freaking arcade game or is it a role-playing game? You know, it's how I look at this. If I want to play a platform game, if I want to play Tomb Raider, whatever it is, I'll go play that. You know, it's not what draws me to a role-playing game genre. And I know that everybody wants to be Dark Souls. Everybody, you know, they made a lot of money as big hit games, so everybody wants to do that now to some extent. And like, forget it, guys. You know, if you want to have options for people that want to play that way, fine. But I can't get over the fact that a role-playing game, it shouldn't come down to my dexterity as a player. It's supposed to be I'm training the character has the dexterity, the character is the one that has the parry skill, the character is the one that has the sword skill. It shouldn't matter, you know, my own personal skill. So anyway, that's just my attitude. I know I'm like in a tiny minority, everybody. What the? Did you just see that? Anyway, nobody agrees with me, and I guess they would say you could play it in casual mode or whatever. Yeah, screw you. But other than that, I think this game does a lot more stuff great than it does badly. And your mileage may vary again. Some people, they love Dark Souls. It's popular for a reason. I get it. It's just not for me. What I like about this game. Let's see if I can mute it for a second. Much as I like the music. I think they did a great job with the world building here. It's probably the biggest strength, world building. The lore is really good. It's a really unique take, I think, on the whole Arthurian legend. And you know, if you like that stuff, it's all here. And it's nice twisted vision. The artwork's great, graphics great. The melee and the combat is fun. You know, it feels unpolished. I hate to say that, and maybe you disagree, but again, I always felt like every time I start to feel like I really got it down, I'm doing well, just some random crap happens, and it's like, oh, okay, I guess don't know crap. So just constantly sort of literally pulling the rug out from under you. You're on your back. You're like, what the hell just happened? So there's a little bit too much emphasis on that. You know, I'm not going to sit there and like look up a Croakmaw and watch a damn YouTube video on a Croakmaw to try to figure out the one special technique that wins every time. I just don't have the patience for that. It shouldn't be required. Other negatives, I still kind of struggle dealing with crap, boring stuff like inventory management, encumbrance, and all that. It's just, you know, I get it when it's in there. It just doesn't make the game more fun. It just ends up, you realize, hey, I just spent like 15 minutes organizing my inventory instead of having fun, you know. Unless for some people like me that might actually be a twisted form of fun. I don't know. Other than that, though, it's just kind of hard to find things to nitpick about. And again, even though if I complain about it, it usually just means I'm passionate about the game. If I didn't like the game, I wouldn't care enough to even complain about it, right? Just say pass, or I wouldn't even do a video on it. So there's that. I love the leveling, all the skill trees, and I like that some of that deals with the issues I was having, right? So if you're constantly getting one-shotted, you can plug more points into encumbrance. You can try to figure out what's causing the damage and put some points, you know, maybe that was a status condition. It was all over so quickly I didn't even really pay attention. Or you might say, well, I'm gonna be sucking down the potions so much. I can see that now, so I'll make sure my crafting skills are good, and then I can get more points out of healing and so on and so forth. So there's basically ways around every problem that you might encounter. So if you're like me, the first time you play, it's just so hard. I got frustrated. I wanted to rage quit. But then I went back to it, and I really studied those attributes and skill trees some more. I got to the point where I could muddle through. But it's probably by design. It's not going to just let you coast. They want to keep you challenged enough to where you're really looking forward to some of those. Oh, I'm so close to that extra skill, or I need that little extra point here that'll make all the difference. So, anyway, that's Tainted Grail, the Fall of Avalon. I know a lot of people love this game. I certainly count myself in that number. It's okay if you get frustrated, pissed off occasionally. That just means it's a game worth playing. You tend to get riled up and then lash out and say, oh, the game mechanics suck, or it's poorly balanced or whatever. And sometimes it is, or it might just be you come back to it later, you're calmer, you're cooler. You study it a little bit more and you do fine. So I really like this game. I'd recommend it, especially for $35. So love to hear your take on it, especially if you finished it. I'd like to hear more about whether you like the changes with the patch and whether it works for you now. But I'm going to stop it here, and I'd like to hear from you, and I'll see you next time. And that's all for this week's episode. I hope you guys enjoyed that. And again, sorry about the little problem with the video, first few minutes or so. I think it's maybe the first 6 or 7 minutes. But I don't know if you can tell by my voice, but you get worn out doing this kind of stuff. And I'm like, if I have to redo that, it's probably going to put it off another few days. And I didn't think you guys would want to wait. It's been long enough since we had a proper Matt chat. So thanks for putting up with that. My apologies. I hope it wasn't that big of a deal. But, I just sometimes you just have to make a judgment call. And I thought it'd be better just to go ahead and put her out rather than wait another few days. And I kind of like the energy I had. When I just was starting out today on this little quest to make this video. So, wow. Hopefully it's okay. As always, I want to thank you not just for your patience with that, but for supporting the show. It's kind of desperate times here. We're kind of in a bind, folks. Usually what happens is some high-profile people that have been supporting the show forever, well, they just can't, nothing lasts forever. They can't support the thing forever. Life happens. And the short of it is we are really at a kind of a deficit right now. We're down quite a bit. It's serious stuff. It's getting to the point where we're going to have to start talking about winding down the show if we can't get some people to step up to the plate. I posted it on X. I told them, here's the deal. If you want the show to continue, you've got to either find some new people to keep it going, or existing people will have to up their patronage a little bit, to try to cover these folks that had to cancel. So, if you like the show, people tell me this is their cozy viewing. There's a lot of people screaming, a lot of ranting. There's all sorts of crazy content you can find on YouTube. But, if Mad Chat is your comfort food, okay. If this is the thing that you enjoy, if this is a lot of other videos, a lot of, people, things you might want to patronize, but, if this is your show, and you know who you are, it's time, the time has come. So go to that link in the show notes, Patreon, or you can do the YouTube memberships, or PayPal, a lot of ways to go here. But I need you to do that. Take a few minutes, set up your account, subscribe. $1 if that's what you can afford. $2 even better. If you can do the $5, you'll really be hitting that sweet spot. We'll be back to full operating parameters very soon. If just a few people would do that. So just going to have to ask you here. And I don't like begging. I don't like going on and on about it. But we really do need your help. So please take the time. I'll wait. You can pause the video and come back. Do that right now. Don't wait, because you'll forget it. And then we won't have the funding, and the show might not even be here next week. So, yeah, go ahead and act right now. I'll wait. You know, I don't even have a Matt Chat ale. I'll tell you what, if you guys get me back to, I'm trying to get 1K of funding a month. It's been my goal for a long time. You know, before COVID, I was sitting at 2 or 3. I think my high point was 4K a month, if you can believe that. And it's just been down ever since. Never recovered. And I'm really just hopeful that we'll be able to figure out whatever the problem is here. Get back to that 1K. So anyway, I promise you, if we get back to 1K, we will do the Matt Chat L segments. We will have a hell of a time. I'll get that. This drinking horn will be full if you will do that. Help me reach that goal. So if you want to see that horn in action, please, you know, what is $5 a month really? You know, if you watch the show regularly, I think it'd be well worth it. And you can always cancel later, you know, if the show doesn't measure up. You know, you can say, do $5 for a while, see how that feels. And, you know, if that's okay, maybe continue. But again, there's no commitments here. So anyway, I won't go on any more about it. I think I've made the point. So thank you, thank you, thank you if you've done that. Otherwise, this might be my last thank you. So you'll know, you won't be able to see the gradual hair loss over the ensuing years if you don't go to that link right now. All right, enough of that. Now, what about the news from the Matt Cave? All right, got a lot of news. Miko had written in somewhat enigmatically saying the infamous Elemental strategy game is going to get a remake. This is Stardock Entertainment's Elemental Reforged. So I'll tell you about the infamy in a second, but basically what this is, you create a character and lead your civilization in this epic turn-based fantasy strategy game. It's kind of like Civilization meets Master of Magic meets Crusader Kings. So you're designing units, researching technology, magic spells, all the fun stuff. You know, I don't know if you know this, I'm just an addict of the Stellaris game by Paradox. You know, I don't even know. I mean, every time they release a new patch, I'm like sucked back into, or new expansion, I'm sucked back into that thing for, you know, days and days at a time. It's endlessly mesmerizing. You know, and I've yet to see a fantasy version of that really kind of hooked me the same way, oddly enough, even though I usually prefer fantasy. So I'm really interested in this. You know, I've seen a lot of games of 4X fantasy games that, you know, they seem to would, you know, you think that would scratch the itch, but there's always something kind of falls short for some reason or another. But this one, maybe this is the one. Elemental Reforged, we will see. It's got a lot going for it. So why is it infamous? Well, I did a little dive into this, and the original game is called Elemental War of Magic. And that basically shipped in early alpha. There's just no other way to say it. Horrible bugs, glitch fests, you know, you name it, just a disaster. Now they released a couple of sequels later on that, you know, fixed all those problems, and it basically got a lot better and people loved it. But there for a while it was quite dicey. So there really is a good reason to try to you know, return to this now that they can hopefully avoid all those bugs, release something in a more finished state. So we'll see. Really interested to see what happens here, but good luck with those. All right, next up we've got Owlcat Games. You remember them from Warhammer. Well, you probably know the Pathfinder stuff, but they've also got a great Warhammer 40K game called Rogue Trader. I covered it here on Matt Chat, even though I forgot that I covered it here on Matt Chat. That's a different story. Anyway, the short of that is I really loved it. Okay. Even though I'm not a Warhammer 40K fan, I don't even really know too much about it, but the game was good. Okay, well, they got one called Dark Heresy that's coming to PC, PS5, and Xbox Series X. Why you'd want to play it on one of those instead of here on Steam or GOG is beyond me, but to each his own. Okay, so this is set in the Calixa sector. Players serve the Inquisition, hunting heretics, daemons, and corruption in a morally gray... Oh, there we go again. Does every frickin' thing have to be morally gray? Maybe so. Anyway, investigative campaign, rather. So Owlcat says it's rebuilding the whole engine from scratch to deliver tighter combat, smarter AI, and more reactive storytelling after learning from Rogue Trader's launch issues. That's interesting. Yeah, I wasn't aware that they had any big issues with the Rogue Trader's launch. I didn't have any problems. I thought it was a great game. But anyway, if it's even better than that, hey, this might even, propel it into XCOM territory. We will see. All right, and then Miko and Sobchak and a few others wrote in, and I just thought I'd kind of combine these items into one blurb, kind of a Halloween-themed blurb, since it won't be long before we're Halloweening. So we got 2 big vampire RPGs stalking the horizon. First one, I've covered both of these before, but there's a few updates we can get into. The first is Blood of Dawnwalker from Rebel Wolves, the Witcher 3 veterans team. So this is a dark 14th century epic where every decision matters and time itself is your enemy. If I think I read that where your choices matter thing one more time, I'm just going to scream. It's just the ubiquitous bullet point. We'll see what they do with it though. So this is built with Unreal Engine 5, published by Bandai Namco. Promises a tighter, consequence-driven experience when it launches on PC and consoles in 2026. So the news is that there's a new 20-minute gameplay overview. Well, it's not so new. It was released back in June. But they show that the combat, how the combat and the day-night cycles work to radically shift your powers and the world reacts. So basically, I just wanted to mention it again as we get closer to the release date on that, because it looks really exciting. There's not all that many great vampire games out there. A lot of people will tell you, just go back and play Vampire Bloodlines if you got that itch. Well, speaking of which, there's a Vampire the Masquerade Bloodlines 2, Rising from the Coffin at last. This is developed by the Chinese Room. So they are confirming that the fan favorite clans Lansombra and Toreador will now be part of the base game, not DLC. Thank you! So can we finally stop kvetching about the DLC? Apparently they have wisely listened to people who seem obsessively angry about that. So I think they made the right move there. Again, I don't know why they would why not just charge more for the base game and leave it in? You could always trickle it and lower the price later. Right? But anyway, that's not a problem anymore. So you got 2 good vampire titles, leaning hard into moral ambiguity, player choice, and the seductive horror that makes vampire RPGs such a perfect fit for the spooky season. So there you go. As always, I'd like to hear your thoughts on all of this stuff, whether we're talking Dark Heresy, Warhammer 40k, Elemental, or these 2 vampire games. And you can talk about it here at YouTube, or hop over to the Discord channel if you are a Matt Chat patron, or as I like to call them, Ratrons. Yeah. All right, well, let's wrap it up with a quotation. And, I read that book, T.H. White, The Once and Future King, back when I was in high school. I was probably like 15 years old, and it's a big, thick book, for a young teen. But I was never scared. I was never intimidated by the thick volumes, as long as it was either fantasy or science fiction. Length was not an inhibitor. It was not a turn off, but a turn on. So anyway, I read this Once and Future King book, and man, that thing just, I don't know if it was my age or what was going on, but it just really hit me hard. That business with Lancelot and Guinevere and Arthur, I still haven't quite got over that. It really kind of touched me, I guess you could say. Maybe as much as Lancelot was with Guinevere. Anyway, you can read the book to find out what I'm talking about there. But anyway, it's got lots and lots of great quotations in it, and this is one of my favorites. And I'll give you the short version, and then I'll extend it a little bit. So this is Merlin. It says, the best thing for being sad is to learn something. That's the only thing that never fails. All right, so that's a great quote, and that's where most people leave it off. But let's just read on a little bit, okay? You may grow old and trembling in your anatomies. You may lie awake at night listening to the disorder of your veins. There's only one thing for it then, to learn. Learn why the world wags and what wags it. That is the only thing which the mind can never exhaust. never alienate, never be tortured by, never fear or distrust, and never dream of regretting. Damn, I get like, goosebumps reading that. It's so good. I mean, just freaking love it. Read The Once and Future King. It's for 1958. It's good stuff. Anyway, hope you guys enjoyed that, and I'll see you guys next week.
Not unlike escaping mother's womb. God, what a memory.